5. Let's go. Let's get through these announcements here. Debate 8, number 8. I'm Ice White, creator of Game Global. I'll be acting as moderator and hosting this debate between Mr. Locario and Ablaze, plus some others that are coming in, some coming in a little later. In the previous two debates, Ablaze debated Markus Wolf, and then Markus Wolf debated Mr. Locario. Now, having both debated against Markus Wolf, these guys are debating each other. It's like a triangle of debates going on. This shit is getting crazy. Maybe for the next one, we could have a fucking free-for-all between the three guys. I might come in at certain times to realign the conversation, or if it becomes necessary for one person to make a point without being interrupted too much, I'll be reading out super chats, $5 USD or more. Don't be cheeky with those Australian or Canadian dollars. I know the conversion rates potentially increasing according to demand, so check the pinned message in the chat for that. Here's just a quick announcement. Today is Dating Sunday, the best day of the year to use Tinder in 2025. I am giving away 2 months of MGAI, the AI wingman for online dating. God, something fucking fly went down my throat. The AI wingman for online dating for free. Poor fly. Use code MessageGameCoach to activate it. If you're seeing this in the future after this was live, don't worry. The time between New Year's Day and Valentine's Day is Tinder's peak season. A solid 6 weeks for you to jump into the ultimate Tinder surge of messages, right swipes, and matches. Now for the debaters. Can you guys briefly state what you're arguing in favor for today? Who wants to go first?
I mean, Ablaze could go. I don't really have an argument. I was just, coming here to spit this game and teach, really. Yes. But go ahead.
Yeah, from my understanding, the debate is, which style of game is most effective? Is it direct game or is it indirect game? So I would like to state, first of all, that I like to apply the concept of going direct or indirect to the entire courtship process. Most people in the community corner the argument into just a debate whether we should open direct or open indirect. But direct tactics, directness levels is one of 3 key dimensions to our tactics, techniques, and sequences, and they can apply to anything that takes place even after the interaction starts. So the debate, though, is, I think, generally speaking, is it better to be direct with our intentions, to state everything up front? Or is it better to sort of conceal our intentions, unravel them, unroll them in a more calibrated, calculated fashion? I do believe that there's a time and place to go direct. I teach direct game. I don't think there's anything wrong with direct game. But I do believe that, generally speaking, indirect game is a more elegant art form. It leads to better results. I believe it's a more sustainable style of game to run. And I'm generally more a fan of indirect game, particularly off the open, depending on the situation. There are some situations where I don't think that's the case.
All right. Well, let's call it what it is. Let's call it. Okay. First off, you don't have any game, sir. You're a pickup artist. Show me. When is a line indirect or direct? Doesn't make any sense. So what y'all guys are doing is y'all are taking something that you know nothing about, and you're trying to use it as indirect. Either you're a man or you're a sissy and you're weak and soft. So if you want to teach these young men to be soft and want to be cowards and want to be weak and want to run behind women, that's fine. But don't just sour something that was beautiful that men do. Men, it's not about being direct or indirect. Indirect is a pickup artist term that was come up with a person that stole information from the street, and then y'all guys ran with it. And there is no such thing as indirect. As a man, men are just men. We do not sit around and beat around the bush, play games, and say weak things. That is soft and weak. And for you to use the word game is disrespectful to those who are in the game, because I have game, street game. You have book smart. So Everything you're doing, with all due respect, you don't have any game. But to say that you have indirect game, that's a very disrespectful thing to say, big guy, because you don't have any game. Because if you were,
If I could just jump in here real quick, I think
sure,
it's
you
probably
can.
best to assume that everybody on this call can at least get a girl, which is what we're here to talk about. So
No,
maybe not attack each other and say, "Hey, you don't have game." You know, I think we're just here to talk about whether or
no,
not
but sir,
we can actually teach people, right?
well, no, with all due respect, Jordan, I'm just saying that these young men need a clarification, because y'all guys are taking something, a word, and trying to use it to tie it in. It's not about getting girls, because a game, if you have game, is not about women. So who cares about getting a woman? It's all about a mentality, sir. So I'll be quiet, but please understand this. I'm gonna, because I'm a real one. So the real one's gonna speak up. But I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but please don't disrespect the word, because y'all don't have game. Y'all are just pickup artists using words to manipulate these young boys to think
Hey, my shirt says datingcoachformen.com, not pickupartistformen.com. So yes, I am Mystery's good friend and wingman. I'm very proud of my relationship and my collaboration with Mystery. I do have a superhero pickup name, Ablaze.
Oh my God.
I am a dating coach for men first and foremost.
But
I'm a Venusian artist, a practitioner of the arts of love.
Oh my God.
Second.
So Blaze, can you give me a example of what you mean by indirect versus direct when you're interacting with a woman, so we could kind of be like,
sure. So if I'm out in a social situation and there's a group of people, it may not be appropriate for me to walk right up to the woman and state that I'm interested in her. It may be more tactful to open the group, have a conversation with everybody, and trigger signals from her that indicate that she's interested before turning my attention to her, as it's been done throughout history, pretty much. We live in a little time warp right now where we have so many options walking the streets in busy cities where we can just walk up to women and go direct, approach after approach after approach. What do you do in a city of 100,000 people when you're going to go out and socialize with the same people repeatedly? You're going to soil the pot that way.
So when you're indirect with a woman, how do you know if she's actually interested in you sexually, or she's just using you for attention?
If she follows through and hangs out with me. So my first goal is to get through what I call level 2 attraction, which is where there's interest from both of us. It's either implied or stated explicitly, and she actually follows through. So if I interact with a woman and then she goes on an instant date with me, if she goes to another part of the social gathering where we can have an intimate interaction, or if we exchange contact info and she actually meets up with me, I consider that passing through level 2 attraction.
Right, but how do you know she's actually sexually interested in you? She might just be going out with you on a date because she wants to have somebody to hang out with as friends, or she wants to go out with you just to get male attention. So what I mean is, like, if you're indirect, how do you, what indication is she giving you that she is sexually attracted to you versus just interacting with you because she wants male attention?
Well, at some point, I'm going to try to progress the interaction forward, right? When it feels natural, I'm going to go for the kiss. I'm going to sexually escalate. And if she's not reciprocating, if she's not into that, that's an indication that she's either not ready, I've moved too quickly, or she's being gamey, like you said. There is a downside to going indirect. I don't claim
but then what's the point if you could have just went direct and then noticed all that from the jump?
Why waste time? Well,
yeah, why are you wasting time?
Well, here's the thing. I know why you're wasting time, because I want to ask you a simple question. What are you saying to this woman? Because the problem is with you pickup artist guys, y'all screw these guys over. You're trying to teach guys who are scared of women, who have no mouthpiece, who can't influence a woman. What are you actually talking to a woman about to get this so-called mythical attraction to, or something, whatever that thing is? What are you saying to the woman, big guy? I'm just asking, what is the conversation like? And if it's
so again, this is where direct and indirect, in my opinion, is not just the term that I use off the open. It's a dimensionality that can be applied to all of our tactics. So I may use an indirect tactic of conversing with her friends and look for signs of interest from her, right? Through my tonality, through the way I project my voice, through a way I angle my body, through different variables like this. Or I may state something direct. I may look at her and say, you know, you're interesting. I'm interested in you. I want to know more about you, right?
Okay.
I will go direct. I will go direct.
Have you ever heard of game perfect pitch? I mean, excuse me, emotional perfect pitch. Have you ever heard of that? No, because you're not. Okay, so you don't. Okay, so emotional perfect pitch means the moment you open your mouth, you are going to tell this woman your story, and this is where you're hurting these young men, because all these body languages and movements and all this other stuff, like Carl's asking, why can't you just be a man and tell her not to have sex, but look, I'm interested in you. This is what I want to do. Why beat around the bush? That's feminine. Why
so let me clarify something. You bring up a good point. I do believe that for some guys that are new to the game, going direct is good for them. It shows them that, hey, women are generally nice. You're not going to get slapped in the face. You know, you got to man up and take your shot, right? I do believe that going direct can be a good exercise for new guys to get them out of their head. But I believe intermediate and advanced game takes on a more sophisticated art form than just, hey, I want you and this is what I want to do with you.
But so, okay, but
I'm actually a proponent of somewhere in the middle here. I think a direct open, like, hey, walking up and telling the girl that I don't necessarily usually say that she is attractive. I'll usually compliment her on something that she's chosen about her look, because I don't want to just compliment her on her genetics. It's more about, oh, I like your whatever you're wearing that I do genuinely find attractive. But I think the difference here is having this buyer-seller dynamic. It's kind of like if you walk onto a car lot, you're there to potentially buy a car, but you're not immediately sold on her. So yeah, I can compliment her, but I'm not 100% certain yet that I'm going to take her out. I'm not 100% certain yet that she is the kind of girl that I would want to have on a date with me. And so I think that's kind of the main difference. At least that's what I hopped on to talk about today. Is I know, Locario, your approach is more, hey, what's your number? Let's go out later tonight. And I'm more of a, okay, well, let's spend like 10, 15 minutes getting to know this girl. But maybe a little bit more indirect, because I'm not just.
But the thing is, my question is, what do you want? Why do you want to get to know her before you know if she's going to cooperate with you? So what I mean by that is, you can get to know a girl all you want, but she still hasn't shown that she's going to follow your lead or go in the direction you're going to go in. And the only way you're going to know that is if you let her know what you want to do in order for her to respond and reciprocate that. So if you're being indirect, you're basically avoiding your program. You're avoiding what you actually want to do. And then what you're doing is that you're pulling her into a situation where she doesn't have any direction. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, so it's still up in the air, because let's say, for example, you were actually interested in this girl for whatever reason. You could like the way she looked, the way she talked, combination of things, whatever. You've thought in your mind, this girl seems interesting, so I want to keep talking to her, keep doing this. And in her mind, she's like, I will never sleep with this guy. This guy's a loser. I don't like this guy, but I'll smile, pretend, talk, laugh, do all these things to make him think I will. And then when he's ready to have sex with me, I'm going to tell him, hey, you know what? Let's just be friends. You know, I don't feel that connection. And so what I'm saying is, you wasted all this time on a woman who was never interested in you. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the point?
Hey, really quick, man. I appreciate the invite to the panel. Respect to y'all, man. But I just wanted to chime in real quick. So what does indirect mean?
This game.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, what does that mean? Like, what does indirect mean? Is that like being
indirect game just means your intentions are concealed. Go ahead, Ice.
Just for me to align everyone on the same kind of thing, because this probably was a concept issue for the last debate. Some of you guys are disagreeing on what game is. Can you guys come on like the same page with what game actually means?
Yeah, so game was created. I think game was definitely created in era of very strong men when they had a strategy of life. It had nothing to do with women. I wasn't raised, the game that I was taught was transferred, from my father and my grandfather. So, everything I was taught was from, very highly masculine men that had a strategy about life. Masculinity was a byproduct of, game was a byproduct of, women was a byproduct of a game. So that's what I was taught. I don't know anything about game. Has nothing to do with women. So that's what I was taught.
To me, game is simply a man's ability to consistently attract romantic options. Within the context that we're discussing game, that's it. It's a man's ability to consistently attract romantic options.
But what you're saying is to be disingenuous, beat around the bush, and walk on eggshells. Men don't do that.
Is that what we mean by indirect?
No, that's a indirect game. That is a side effect of indirect game. If it's not used properly, it can lead to those types of behaviors. But that's not what indirect game is. Indirect game is triggering attraction in a woman, getting her to see us as a romantic potential suitor, and doing so in a covert way. It's in the way we posture. It's in the way we dress. It's in our body language. We don't have to shine the spotlight right on her right away.
So let me ask you this. Do you care when you talk to a woman, do you care about the outcome?
Yes.
So you should.
I mean,
so I don't care. Let me
clarify. In like a grand existential way, no, I don't. But in the microcosm of the moment, yes, I want to produce a favorable outcome. So I don't want to alienate her friends. I want to succeed. So yes, I do care about success.
So you think masculinity actually cares about the outcome?
Yes. Masculinity cares about outcomes.
We don't unless it's our outcome, right?
I think we're splitting. I think this is a semantic argument.
No. The reason why I'm breaking it down is because when you use words like indirect, that's not a masculine pathway. So masculine pathway is to do what we want to do when we want to do it on our terms. So if I approach the situation anything outside of what my outcome should be, then I'm being disingenuous and I'm not being who I'm supposed to be. Like, I'm very aggressive. So like, I don't really care about her friends or how they feel about me or even how she even thinks of me, really. I'm actually presenting her with an option and her best option, and either she's going to take it or not. I eliminate a lot of women who are not for me very quickly because I'm a man of my time.
And that's a style of game. That's fair. It's a style of game.
But what I'm saying to you is if we're teaching men, though, so we're teaching men is different, right? Because I think you would have to say the majority of men are not, they can't decipher indirect and direct. That's something they can't really do. They can't stay on that course of teetering the fence. They're going to either be on one side or the other, right? So if that's the case, if we're teaching men to be indirect, that's how they're going to lead a woman indirectly. And we all know that that's not going to be a successful way of doing it, right?
I believe direct game and indirect game exist on a scale. And there's even this middle ground where our game is more Sphinx-like, right? It's almost indecipherable. And I believe that most guys are intelligent enough, if it's taught properly, to understand the idea of going direct, going indirect, and how they can navigate that in-between space. And I will admit, and I'll acknowledge that if you focus on direct game and you highly refine going direct, you will get results. But there's going to be a burn rate that comes with that. There's a burn rate that comes with going indirect as well. The question is, which way has a greater burn differential? Which way is going to burn more options?
But I think
I don't care about
the issue. Yeah, I think the issue is, and this is what I'm seeing real quick. I think the issue is we're talking about two different things. I think what Ablaze is talking about is how do I do something to get the most efficient way to attract the woman? And what we're talking about is we're talking about being a man and only dealing with women who are on our program. So it's just two different things. So Ablaze makes it about the woman and we don't. You see what I'm saying?
I don't.
Would it be fair to say
there's a point where you need to have outcome independence with any particular girl? Anytime you walk up, you can't care what that girl thinks. But I think on the whole, if we teach men to just go up and shoot their shot and 99 times out of 100 they fall on their face, then we need to say, okay, well, there's something that you're doing wrong, whether that's in your approach or whether that's in who you are, there's something wrong. So on the whole, we do need to have some outcome dependence because we need to optimize.
No, but
A key difference I
that,
am, hold
go
on,
ahead.
a key difference I'm observing here is influence versus acceptance. Is that something you guys can agree on?
Influence.
No, because you can influence people indirectly as well. Influence is not always in your face. This is what I want you to do. Influence can be indirect as well. So I want a guy to have maneuverability where he can go indirect or direct. And it's not always calibrating to the woman. I am a fan of running my game my way as well. And my style of game is not always telling the woman right up front, this is what I want.
But sir,
so how is she supposed to know how to respond to you if you're not letting her know what she is getting into?
It's subcommunicated, man. Women are hip to this. Women play indirect game all day.
Wait, no, women are hip to losers, buddy.
Have you ever seen a movie where there's two people in a room and they're exchanging coy glances with each other, and the guy navigates a social situation to get to the girl?
But that's
right. But this is the part I think that's missing. What I'm saying is this: when you're being indirect, that means there's something that's being concealed. Correct?
Concealed.
Right? Is that correct?
There's a directness level. So yes, if you're technically on the indirect side of the spectrum, this side of the spectrum, we have directness levels that go up from 1 to 10. On the other side, it goes from -1 to -10. Or we could be at 0.0. So yes, when you're below 0, if you want to get really specific here, if you're between 0 and -5, your intentions are concealed, but socially savvy people will still be able to detect something's going on.
Sir,
if you're -5 to -10, you're being very indirect, very concealed.
How can you conceal? No, she knows you want to fuck. Can we agree on that? She knows you want pussy. That's what she knows. So the moment she recognizes you want pussy, she's going to say, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to move? And then you're saying that, well, let me go ahead and play games with you. What is so special about a woman that I have to beat around the bush, vibe with her friends, and use some magician tricks that a person who doesn't even have game, because you're from Mystery Method Tree, which is from Styles in that book called The Game. So what I'm saying is why would a man waste his time on a woman? What is so special? Just tell me what's so special about her that I have to lie, deceive her, and try to manipulate her?
So again, I think that lying, deceiving, and manipulating, this is twisting what indirect game is about. Indirect game is acknowledging that it's not always the best. So women appreciate your tact when you go indirect the right way.
They don't.
We're having a good time.
So give me an example.
We're laughing all the way to the
example.
bedroom. I don't have to tell her, hey, this is what I want to do to you. It's implied as we get to know each other and the vibe builds as the laughs start ensuing. We're laughing all the way to the bedroom. We never had to talk about sex at all. We just had
you think most men are charismatic like that in order to have that type of situation with women?
No, I don't think most men are charismatic enough.
So you're looking at
it is a learned skill. It's something they can learn.
But even the learned skill is not a natural thing, right? Yeah, there's a small percentage. You're talking about a small percentage of guys that can actually, do what you're just saying. And I hear you when you say the vibe, right? But you have to understand. I don't want to refer to myself because what we're talking to me is elementary, right? But to these guys, if we're teaching these men, this is hard for these men to even think about trying to even say hi to a woman, let alone make them laugh, But if you teaching these men to directly let them know the situation, that's a lot easier than to tell them to do something that's already unnatural for them.
I would say it depends on the guy.
Yeah.
I would say it depends on the guy. Some guys, I push them to go direct. It gets them out of their head. It gets them over their approach anxiety. Some guys are ready to learn indirect, and it's not that far out of the realm to teach a guy, hey, you can go direct, you can go indirect, and there's a whole bunch of in between. It's not that complicated.
So is it a thing where you just don't really care about the time like this? So what I'm saying is, like, is time not important, an important factor when you're doing what you're doing?
No, time does matter for sure.
But then how do you do that if you're indirect? Because when you're indirect, what you're doing is
wasting time.
You're wasting a lot of time. Do you see what I'm saying?
If the interaction is not progressing and the woman is not reciprocating, then I'm going to get the sense that she's not interested in me, or maybe I need to step up my directness levels, right? So yeah, no.
But that's my point. You keep saying if she's interested or not. What I'm saying is you can't tell if a woman is interested if you are being indirect because she's responding to the indirectness. So once you let her know what your actual agenda is or the goal you're trying to meet or where you're trying to go take the situation, that's the only time when she's going to really tell you or show you if she's interested. So what I'm saying, so you have to get back to that. You have to get to that point anyway.
No, we can't stay indirect forever. And look, going indirect and wasting time, that is a potential downside. It's a potential downside, wasting time, but you could also waste a lot of time burning through great opportunities by making the woman decide.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's where I got a good pushback. How do you know that these women that we're talking to at all is an option? Like, how do you even know it? And why are you giving him credit on great options? Like, what do you consider a great option?
Yeah, like what makes her great?
I like women who listen. I like women who follow directions. I like women who follows my lead. If they do anything outside of that, they have zero potential with me. So I'm confused on what we're asking. Do we want men to go in there and it seems like we're pandering to women. That's what I get. When we go indirect, it seems like we're pandering, like we're placing their being on a pedestal.
Yeah.
In order to get attention, to then engage in a conversation, and everything is on their terms, basically. That's what I'm getting from this whole conversation in this.
So I think probably the place that indirect makes the most sense would be in a social circle environment, in a place where you're going to see these women repeatedly, because there is negative social consequence to shooting your shot, getting rejected with, say, 4 out of 5 girls in a social circle. That's bad. I think we can all probably agree on that. So if you are a man who's developed some sort of social circle, it's kind of up to you to be an attractive man, have your own program, see which girls follow onto that, and then you can start to go direct from there. That's what makes place. But in like a cold approach situation, I'm a little bit more on the proponent of, okay, hey, we're going to go direct without giving our power away.
There's no such thing as a cold approach, because there's no such thing as a warm or hot or lukewarm approach. This is, y'all, we use wordplay. Y'all got to stop this. So what is it?
That's not wordplay. That's dating, that's everything. If you walk up to an individual who doesn't know who you are and you say hello, I think probably go a little bit more direct there. But the idea that there's no such thing as a cold approach.
When you're saying social circle, why would a man wait? Who am I? Wait. So you're saying we should hang out with the food? Like you're saying the social circle, like hang out with a bunch of women? What do you mean? So what is a social?
You're not like women?
Wait,
no, we're not going to hang out with women like friends and shit.
If you don't like hanging out with women,
this is not Friends or How I Met Your Mother.
Can I ask a question on that one? Because I've heard this a million times in the community and the dating sphere and the manosphere that I don't need women as friends. I've got men for that. Do you guys, I mean, I've had some of my greatest interactions with women. There's some incredibly smart, intelligent, hardworking women out there. You don't have female friends?
My sisters.
Absolutely.
My sisters.
I'm gonna tell you
my sisters
why.
are great.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I don't have female friends. So I have female acquaintances. I have females I'm cool with that we do business with, but I do not have female friends. Because an actual friend, that's real. So what most guys, they don't have female friends. They have females that they think are hot, that they hang out with to either try to attract other females, or you try to get with her and now you're in the friend zone. That's not really a friendship. But the reason why I'm not friends with females is because a man's attention, his non-sexual attention, is very valuable, because most women can't get that. Most women, when they're dealing with guys just want to have sex with them. So what women do, which is why they try to get attention from guys who are indirect, they try to get attention any way they can. So they say, well, this indirect guy, I'm going to use him for attention because it's hard for me to get man attention that is not sexual. So the only non-sexual attention a woman is going to get from me is if she's earned it, which means she's my girlfriend or wife. So this is why I'm not just friends with women, because when women are just friends with men, what they're doing is they're trying to siphon your masculine attention for free, and they're not giving you anything in return. So my question would be, what are some things, name like 2 or 3 things that a woman can do as a actual female friend that's going to benefit you in your life?
Please, I like to hear
It's funny. She can introduce me to other people, male and female. She can provide me with work for my photography portfolio. We can go do fun things together. I don't know if you guys have ever sat down and just like add food or drink to the woman who you were not trying to pursue sexually, but they are human beings. So,
right, but Jordan,
Jordan, accept this premise that a woman, for her personality, can't have any value. That's just,
Jordan, couldn't she do all those things you just mentioned without you being friends with her?
Isn't that what a friendship is spending time
together?
No.
What I'm saying is, you said she helps you with photography. I can get a woman to help me with my photography, but we're not friends.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like right now,
and you find each other fun to spend time with. Like, I'm not going to spend time with people who don't add to my life. I'm very strict with people.
I agreed. So that's what I'm saying. So
whether or not they have a penis has no bearing.
But Jordan, you're being disingenuous to these guys to lie to these women and pretend to be something. Okay, the reason I have my friends are
I'm not saying to be in the friend zone where you have this girl that you're simping over. I'm saying if you have a girl who, for one reason or another, you're not interested in having a sexual relationship with, it's perfectly acceptable to be friends.
So let me say something. So the dynamics of a man and woman is always going to kick in at some point, right? So this is why I'm not friends with women, right? And the biggest part of it is because of the dynamics will kick in at some point. If a woman is in a situation, let's say we're friends and we're at a table, and she has an angry ex that she's dumped and I don't really know about it. He came to the table and he is going to be there threatening me and her based upon the situation that, we're in. Regardless, we're homies. We're not even effing or nothing. You do understand that the dynamics of your protection is going to kick in. If you're friends with her, you are going to try to protect this person, right? Just like you would your homie. Your homie's out, but there's still limits to that. You will let your homie fight. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to jump in. You're not going to, but this woman, you're going to protect because it's in your nature to try to protect this woman, especially if you call her your friend. So those dynamics, I'm not a part.
I would protect my male friends too.
Hold on. There's a difference though. If your friend got punched in the face, you're going to watch and see what your friend's going to do. If your homegirl got punched by a man in the face, you're probably going to try to help her. And that is because of the nature.
Too? I
mean, I'm not doing none of that for no, but look, that comes with a cost. And this is where we lose. I believe we lose focus as men. No, I'm not okay with none of that, but that's not my job to protect that woman though. I'm not here to protect that woman. If she's not on my program, she does not deserve my protection. Protection can come with your life. My life is valuable. I got kids. Look, let me say something. This is where the dynamics does not benefit me as a man. And so this is why I'm telling you why I don't be friends. And you see how you went very vaginal with that conversation? You said, so what you said, you believe in women beaters? I never said that. I'm saying I'm not going to protect. Why should I protect her? Why should I protect her?
Of your tribe?
No, I'm not. No. And this is what I'm saying. She's not in my tribe unless she's old. Like she's doing what I say, following my directions, and under my leadership. A friend is not doing those things. So what I'm saying to you is that I'm not putting my life on a line for a woman that does not bring me value in those ways.
Okay, well, so let's look at this. If you had a weaker male friend, somebody who is not as physically
he needs to get his ass kicked in.
You wouldn't jump in and protect him.
He needs to get his ass kicked in. And I don't hang around guys who are weak.
Never.
I refuse because normally if you're weak here,
I'm not
physically, you're weak here.
I'm saying weaker than you.
Yeah. And I don't judge men as being weak or strong until you show me. But you show me with your conversation. You show me with how you handle yourself.
Okay, and
if you're any of those, No, I'm not gonna. But no. If he, let me just tell you something. If he is,
Okay,
if
so
I,
don't protect your female friends.
yeah, I want. Again, I'm just telling you, I'm not gonna. I'm not protecting the weak. I don't protect the weak. You have to be able to protect yourself as a man, for one. For two, if you're outnumbered, then I'm gonna help out. But if it's, hey, if it's you said something or they said something, he did something, you need to be able to defend yourself.
101.
Hey, well, let me ask this real quick. So, because I always hear female friends. So let me ask you. So if you're friends with a woman, she has 2 kids. Will you babysit her kids while she goes on a date?
I wouldn't do that for my male friends either. Why would I do that?
But I thought y'all friends though.
Wait a second.
I thought y'all were friends.
Wait, okay, so I just told you I wouldn't do that for my male friends either. So why would I do that for my female friends?
But your female friends have kids. So what I'm saying is, she says to you, "Hey, Jordan, there's this guy I really want to go out with tonight."
For anyone, if I don't watch anyone's kids, it doesn't matter what their gender is.
Okay, so what you're saying, there's a limit on how you're friends with people.
There's limits on my friendship. Yeah.
Okay, so then that's what I'm saying. There's limits on my masculine non-sexual attention. And so I'm not going to give that to a woman, period, unless she earns it. And so what I'm saying is, a lot of guys talk about their friends with women, but if their female friend said, "Hey, can you help me with this? Watch my kids, help me move, paint my house," none of y'all would do it. Because y'all are not really friends with these women.
I wouldn't do that for any of my male friends. I don't see how.
Ablaze said he would.
It depends. It depends on how good of a friend she is, right? Like if she's a good friend of mine and she needs me to watch her kids, and I have the time and energy to do it, which
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I got a question for you then. I got a question for you. So would you? Let's just say you're married, right? You have married with kids, right? You have a responsibility to your wife and kids. You would lay down your life for your female friend when you know you have a wife and kids to protect. Would you do that?
Oh man, this gets into like a deeper philosophical question about like,
it's a yes or no. It's a yes or no.
For real,
it really is.
So let me give you an example. My instinct would be to protect myself. Would I go against my instincts to defend someone's life? It depends on the situation. Are they in a car that's about to explode? And I was actually forced one time in a situation like this to decide to try to rescue a guy from a burning fucking car. And all that flashed in my mind was things I saw in movies with cars exploding and shit like that. I later found out that cars don't really explode like in the movies anymore, right? You got to watch out for the tires can blow out, the gas can pop off. But luckily, another guy ran over and rescued this dude. But I froze for a second.
Oh, so you didn't do it?
An exploding car and me dying in a fiery wreck. So it really depends on the situation.
So the only reason I'm saying that is that you have to be disciplined to what's yours and what's not. She's not yours to protect. Your oath, you took a vow to protect your wife and kids. Everybody outside of that, you don't have just like there's a difference between a security guard and a police officer. One took an oath and the other one didn't. There's a reason why that person is putting his life on the line for you, because he took an oath to do it.
These are either or arguments. You're either defending someone or you're not. There's a whole bunch of gray in here.
Let's talk about the gray. Let me ask you this question.
So what I don't understand here is you have boundaries with your male friends, right?
Well, you have boundaries of sex.
Okay.
We're not
No. But so if you have boundaries with your male friends, it seems like every argument you're making is, oh, well, because this woman has a vagina, I can't have boundaries.
Yeah, they have different.
So are men and women the same?
So
they're not the same.
Have boundaries with male friends, can you not have boundaries with female friends?
This is where y'all are being disingenuous.
No, that's a simple yes, no. That's a simple yes, no. If you have boundaries with men, can you not have boundaries with women?
Jordan, men and women are different.
Men and women are different.
No, okay, so you don't have boundaries with women. That's fine.
Jordan, but here's the thing. This is what y'all are doing. Y'all are telling these guys to get
No, it's a yes, no. If you can have boundaries with men, can you have
It's not a yes, no, because if it was a yes, no, that means you're saying men and women are equal.
We're not equal. We're not equal.
But Jordan, you're
for anybody watching, look, I've asked this question 3 times.
Right, but Jordan, this is what you're not getting. Real quick, Steve. Well, Jordan, what you're not getting is this. You can't say yes or no, and you're basically making the yes or no with the same question to the 2 different people who are not equal.
We're not equal.
You can't do that.
Men and women are not equal. But Jordan,
so then because they're not equal, you can't have boundaries with
they're
female
not
friends.
equal.
Is that what you're saying?
What do you mean by men and women are not equal? I believe men and women are different.
Oh my
I believe
God.
that men and women are equal but different.
No, men and women are not equal.
They're not equal.
So what we're saying is that you're okay. Are you leading your relationship, or is your woman leading the relationship?
So I do my best to have a 50-50 type of relationship.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll disagree on that.
Yeah,
I lead the relationship.
Yeah,
I'll disagree on that.
I must be
Sorry,
separate.
Eric.
What I'm saying, guys, as you guys are doing, you're telling these guys to be disingenuous, you get them in these social circles with these women, pretend that you're friends, and then try to get some pussy.
No, don't pretend that you're friends. Be friends.
No. You okay? But then, what is the purpose of doing the social circle when you're talking about trying to get in a relationship with somebody in the social circle because they're gonna find out you're talking to other women in the social circle? What's the purpose of the social circle?
You know what I find
the purpose of the
interesting.
social circle is first and foremost to have a fulfilling social life, and then you see if there are women in that social circle.
But they're friends though. But the social circle is friends.
I thought it was friends.
I thought it was friends. We don't fuck our friends, right?
Are you okay with your woman having
whether or not
friends?
a woman is my friend and whether or not we are having sex? Shout out to Michael Sartain for this one. But whether or not we are friends and whether or not we are having sex are totally unrelated.
Would you be okay with your woman having male friends?
I mean, generally, as long as the guy's not hitting on her, yeah.
But
I think it's a little bit weird. I believe in a free market. So
well, that's great. That's
I
great. So
deep down, I am the best option for her. If she
okay, great. So you would have no problem with me and your woman going on a friend vacation.
If my girl is going out with guys all the time,
hey, how's it different? We're equal.
We're equal.
We're equal. You said we're equal, so I should have the same girl trip pass as the girl. So you're saying
so I also reject the premise of a girl's trip. So what I'm saying is,
hold on.
Again, there are boundaries to
okay. So you're saying your woman can't have a sleepover with me.
No, absolutely not.
Well, see, why? Because we're friends. Like, that is my buddy. She is my
so you're taking
home
it to the extreme.
girl.
No, but that's our point, Jordan. That's our exact point. So why don't we stop calling women our friends and be real about the situation?
Because
we're not friends.
That's not my friend. If my female friend wants to go suck your dick, I don't give a fuck.
No. I'm talking about your woman.
I'm talking about your girlfriend is my friend.
That's more than friends.
Jordan, we're talking about your girlfriend is my best friend.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
You met her. When you met her, I was there when you met her. and me and her have been friends since high school. And she's like, man, I want you to meet this guy. I love him. I'm like, okay, no problem. And I come and meet you, shake your hand. Hey. And then about 8 months in, I'm saying, hey, man, like, hey, I'm turning 40. Me and her, man, we've been so friends, man. I'm gonna fly her out. We're gonna go to Florida together, and we're gonna just party like rock stars. She was a little hesitant about asking you because she didn't know if he was going to be secure with our relationship. And I'm telling you, buddy, me and her are great friends. We're going to just go to Florida, Miami Beach, and we're going to just have a great time together.
Yes, you're painting a pretty extreme example.
Hey,
no. What I'm creating is a dynamic that you're going to have to put in place because
so then let's
men.
Clarify where you can have the male-female friends. If my friend wants to go to, or my girlfriend wants to go to a dinner with both men and women present, doesn't bother me.
Okay.
But if my girlfriend wants to go on a vacation with the dude, yeah, that's taking it a little bit further, and that's cause for concern.
Okay, great. What about just coming over to watch the game?
Of a friend to begin with, who's a man, that's already a red flag, and we're probably not getting to the.
What about your woman just coming over to watch the game with her homie? Just coming over, just coming to my house.
We're talking about a one-on-one thing, not a group thing.
Hold on, we're friends.
Friends.
You just said we're friends.
See, do you see our point? That's all the point. That's
the only thing I'm making.
That's completely ignore the dynamics between men and women.
Exactly. Why? Because we're not equal.
We're not equal.
Have you guys ever seen a guy that looked really weak though because he was too possessive of a girl? He can't talk to. She can't talk to any dudes. Yeah. She can't even look at other dudes. She can't have any male friends.
I love her to look at other dudes. I think that's normal.
We give women free will. We tell women to date.
But let me tell you why. Well, let me tell you why I don't allow the friends. Right. It's because I want to kill that dynamics. So I don't want to perceive something that ain't there, right? I don't want to, I just walk in and they just happen to just be hugging at the moment, laughing and shit.
That sounds
And
insecure.
then I'll walk in. No, it's not insecure. What it is called leadership. I'm trying to eliminate. See, when you're a man, you have to know, you have to be preventative, not reactive. So being preventative, I'm preventing these situations from happening. And in order for me to do that, I'm eliminating all of this. And also men's influence on a woman happens. And even if she doesn't really care too much about him, she is made to follow. So she's going to sometimes take his influence. There's only needs to be one guy influencing her, and that's going to be me. So this is why I'm doing it, not because I'm afraid of the competition. I'm my best option. And if she finds another one, hey, I'll shake his hand. Y'all have a good life. Because because of my value is so high for myself. But I'm eliminating all that.
That we agree on. 100%. I think that frame of coming from, listen, I am the best you can possibly do. If you decide that that's not the case anymore, okay, it's your loss. Respect to you. I'm happy that you're having a good life. I can go replace you. I can find another one. That dynamic, I think we're completely on the same page. It's just that there's a certain point where we get a little bit too spurgy about like, okay, well, a woman can never speak to another man ever.
I don't care about that. I don't. She can talk to whoever. But Ablaze,
so that's kind of what we're talking.
I want to talk to Ablaze about it because he was very liberal in his approach when it comes to women. We can do what everybody can do, whatever. So if this is your wife,
that's not what
are you
okay?
I didn't
say she can do whatever, right? It depends
are you
on
okay?
The situation,
are you
right?
okay with your wife having male friends?
He said it's 50-50.
Yeah, I am okay with my girl having male friends. Yes,
right.
As a general rule, but there are limitations to it. Just like Jordan, this doesn't mean she can hang out and do anything, anytime. She's going out with dudes, and I'm never invited. I'm never there. I never meet these guys.
They're friends.
I would never be in that situation in the first place. I would never be in a situation in the.
So you do agree that you're putting yourself in a situation where things can happen if you allow certain behavior.
If you allow certain behaviors, yes, you are increasing your risk of something happening. So
would you directly tell her that, or would you indirectly tell her that?
I would directly tell her that.
Oh, okay. Because I thought the other approach, indirect. That's what I thought.
That's a whole different thing.
That is a.
I don't know. I thought I was. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
That is a time to be direct.
That's a whole different thing.
Time to be direct.
So when you order food, are you always indirect or are you direct?
Yeah, I kind of just expect the waiter to figure out what it is.
I'm going to order my food.
Hey, if it's Deliveroo, it's technically indirect because you're using a middleman.
Oh, there you go.
I'm saying, why not just order the food like you want a woman? Just look.
Okay, so take it back to the original thing. I mean, again, if you're talking to a woman you've never spoken to before, I think most of the time you're going to go relatively direct, express, okay, this is the premise of this relationship is going to be somewhat sexual, but it's still just the difference is I don't believe that you walk in already sold on that woman. You walk in and you're, okay, I'm walking onto the car lot. Am I interested? Yeah. Am I going to buy today? I don't know. And that's where you get to know the woman, and that's where you have it.
No, see, I don't agree that generally we're going direct. It depends on the situation. If it's a cold approach on the street and she's walking, yeah, I got to be kind of direct. I got to, what am I going to do? Stop her as she's walking and start talking about how bad the Bears are doing? I'm from Chicago, by the way. It's terrible what's going on right now.
My Niners
I'm going to go
right
direct. I'm going to go direct if she's walking down the street in a cold approach. If I'm in a social circle environment, or if I'm in a small bar, rooftop patio, something where there's social circles congregating, I'm going to work my game a little bit more indirect. And yes, at some point I have to step up and show some more direct interest. But again, it's not an either or thing. There are directness levels, right? I'm either being very direct, very indirect, somewhere in between.
Blaze.
Right? Let me say this. Here's what I find amusing about this conversation, though. Here's what I find amusing. Hear me out. I will acknowledge that going direct is a style of game, and I believe there's an art to it, and I believe you can refine it and get better and better at it. Everything you guys are saying makes sense, and all of the potential downsides of indirect game are granted, acknowledged. Yes, these are some of the downsides of going indirect. but you guys are just saying, nah, indirect game doesn't work.
Do you think
No, we didn't say no. Nobody said indirect game doesn't work. No, I don't get it twisted.
Okay,
What I'm saying is that when you're being indirect, right, you're not really being authentic. You understand? Because what you're essentially doing is you're trying to find a way that you can attract the woman, right, without actually being real about your intention. So the thing is that it's almost like it's like a bait and switch type of thing, because the woman is not getting to know your actual, like, who you actually are in the moment, right? You're holding that off in some form or fashion, and then she finds out later.
See, again, that is a potential downside of going indirect is, you know, guys can use it to manipulate or deceive. But if I'm in a social environment where conveying direct interest right off the bat is not my best move, I'm going to covertly show her little bits of directness with eye contact, a little look, a little angling of my bodies, right? But I'm
so wait, real quick.
I'm
going to try to let her feel this masculine presence that you guys talk about.
So wait, real quick. Hold on. So let me ask this. So what? Because I keep hearing you say this, that like you're saying, well, if I'm direct with her and let her know what it is, it's not the best type of situation. So what is it about the situation where you're like, this is not the best course of action to be direct with the woman?
So once again, I will go direct even in situations like this. There are times where on the surface, it doesn't look like the right time to go direct, but I feel like going direct, or I get the intuition.
But that's what I'm saying. What is not the right time?
To a more direct tactic.
Well, okay,
give me an example of the time that's not right.
A specific example would maybe be, I do like, Eric, your example of like a rooftop patio. There's a great one out here in Scottsdale. If you're talking to a mixed group of men and women, and you put that girl on the spot and basically make her decide, okay, do I like this guy right away based off of just 5 seconds of, hey, you're pretty, or I like your hair, or whatever.
Don't say that.
That's the point. Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever your opener is, you get the point.
There's no opener.
Say hello.
There it is, though.
Okay, however you're starting the conversation. You're putting her on the spot, and I have to decide in front of all of my friends right now, as opposed to if you do talk to that group, one, generally good things happen from just being a social person. You could make friends with the other people in the group, but two, that does give you a better opportunity to then check the vibe.
And this real quick, let me just say, that is the fundamental downside that I see with direct game, is you're making the woman decide on the spot if she wants to buy your whole album before you even play her any sample songs. Play her a few sample songs and then see if she wants to buy the album.
When you don't know how to talk, okay, here's y'all's problem. Y'all guys want to have a boring ass, what do you do for a living? When was your last date? Ha ha, Chuck, that's funny. Hey,
that's a bit of a straw man.
No, I'm saying, what do y'all do? As a man, I'm going to go into that group and I'm going to say, can I have a word with you? And I'm going to pull her to the side. Then I'm going to let her know who I am. And I'm going to say, you know what? This is why I'm here. And I'm going to exchange information. I'm going to let you go right back, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you guys who are indirect to draw that pussy back to me, because women like dominant men. They don't like guys that beat around the bush, who are feminine, who have tight pussies. What you guys are saying is, you do an opener, that's a tight, what in the, I'm not being a dick here. What the fuck are y'all saying?
Wait, hold up.
Okay,
so
the opener is literally just a term, whatever you say first. That's all I'm referring to when I say opener. But again, we're talking about a very specific situation in a very specific type of group. I think most of the time you are being that masculine man and you're expressing your interest up front. But what I'm talking about is there is a place for an indirect approach, and that's a specific.
I want to know what you're saying. Real quick, I want to hear what he's saying. I just want to know. Listen, I'm not being a dickhead. What? I don't know what it's like. What does a loser do when he walks into a woman that puts value in her? And what does he say to her? What is the conversation? No, you want to fuck.
I couldn't tell you. What does the loser say?
Well, I don't know, because
you're talking about most of these men, dog. Like, this is what I'm saying. I don't think you understand what we mean. Like, most of these dudes are losers.
Okay, what does a loser say to a woman? I'm serious. What is the conversation? And if it starts with a who, what, where, why, how, or when, that's a loser.
Well, real quick, the man mindset. What is your real name, so I can call you by your first name?
Call me Steve, brother.
Steve. So first of all, Steve, I want to acknowledge that I actually think that's a pretty smooth tactic for going direct. Walking up and saying, hey, can I have a word with you? You pull her aside, you tell her a little something, then you put her back to the group. And then what you're doing is you're using an indirect tactic by letting the losers, as you call them, draw her back to you. So you actually opened indirect, then you transition to indirect.
No, I
So
would.
let me
And it was
tell
smooth.
you
It's
what,
smooth. It's a smooth move.
so let me tell you, man, I'm a silverback, man. So you know the thing is, man, I don't even care about it. I will talk to her in front of her friend. And if she's not giving me no play, I'm gonna look at the second one I wanted.
And that
I'm
could
gonna
be
say,
smooth too. And
hey, and I don't care about a woman deciding. She's gonna decide because she knows who's in front of her. So I think we look, and this is why I think that this is what it is. It's like I don't care about the outcome, and I've never been a man too. And I just remember my father always telling me. He said, if you ever stoop down to a woman's level, you will become them. So I will never, ever, ever feel like a woman is on my level when I meet her. Because if I mirror her, she's going to believe we're equal.
That's a frame. That's a frame. That's a frame that there's a value differential. A frame is a belief, accurate or not, about the underlying meaning of an interaction. Frames are like little spells, basically, that we're casting. But reality is reality. Maybe you are higher value than her. Maybe you're not.
No. And I'm only going because, hey, man, you got to remember, I was taught by highly heavy Christian men. And I'm talking about just straight biblical. We don't have to go there because it's not the show. But what I would tell you is, this is acknowledged. Women and men are not equal. There's a weaker vessel. One is here to help. When did we pander to the help? We are pandering.
I imagine we actually probably agree on a lot more of this than we disagree. If you guys have ever heard Casey Zander, I think he likens hypergamy to original sin. The man does have to be the leader of the relationship.
There's no such thing as hypergamy, sir. There's no such thing as.
Well, that's factually incorrect.
What is that? What can somebody? You know what? I'm new to this.
So hypergamy is a woman's tendency
basically
to mate across and up social hierarchies, and that's very, very real. If you read
cares?
any sort of
Right, but
evolutionary psychology
this is the problem,
all,
though.
that's a well-known, that's a documented thing.
No, this is the problem with hypergamy and all the red pill talking points that guys do on the internet. So the thing is, how can a woman get higher than you? Meaning, Ablaze, how can a woman get a better you than you?
Listen, man, I don't get into all the hypergamy red pill stuff either. Don't throw me in
so
that category.
That's a mischaracterization of what it actually is. So
no, but that's what it is, though.
No, it's not that she's trying to always replace you. It's that if she is at an 8 out of 10 in her social status, she wants to be with a guy who's a 9 or a 10 in terms of social status.
Okay, so that's my point, Jordan. So what I'm saying is,
so like we all agree on that. That's why I brought it up.
Right. So
like,
what I'm saying
is
that how can she get a 10 who's a better 10 than you will ever be? It don't make sense. So this is
not my argument at all.
No, this is what
my argument was going back to Akeem. Akeem said, "Hey, I'm higher than this woman when I'm talking to her," and that's what I'm saying. Like that's 100% accurate, and that should be your approach to the interaction.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is, when people talk about hypergamy, what they're saying is losers with material possessions and material things and status.
That's not hypergamy.
No. That's basically what it is. It's her going to
status is real.
No, it's not. So what I'm saying is.
What is status?
Status is in your mind. This is not like
so status is in your mind. It's you're standing in a social hierarchy. The Status Game is a great book for that if you guys want to go.
Okay, so now so let's go into that. Let's go into that.
So much. Yeah.
Let's go into that. Okay,
so status matters in sales, it matters in business, it matters in women. Like status is one of the most fundamental burgers of power that you can possibly imagine.
Okay, so give me an example.
So fucking deep.
Okay, so give me an example how your status will attract the woman.
Sure. So if you want to liken this to evolutionary psychology, which again was where we're coming from, when she perceives you to be a higher status man, that puts you in the position of a leader of a tribe. And that leader of the tribe, not only can he protect her physically from threats, but now he has the combined power of other members of the tribe to protect her from threats. So what that allows is, okay, her children are more likely than to have children. What we've done over the past 300,000 years of hominid evolution is we have self-selected for people who value status. Does that make sense?
Okay, so now give me that in a practical term of an example of a man in society who has status and how that makes the woman attracted to him because of his status.
Sure. So Dan Bilzerian is a great example. Whether or not you guys like him or his
I don't know who that is. Who is Dan?
I know who Dan Bilzerian is. That's the guy who he had a bunch of like what the like those IG
or
models.
if you want to go Leonardo
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio is another great example of status. Or you want to go Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a great example of status.
Okay. So what you're saying is that you're saying that women are viewing men with assets as being
no, it's not actually the asset itself. So like pre-selection is an indicator of status. Or if you look at Donald Trump, it's his fame. Or if you look at the leader within a smaller group, it's the leader of that tribe that usually gets the female attention.
Okay, so let me ask a question. So if Dan Bilzerian is talking to a woman or hooks up with a woman and he's higher status than another guy who nobody knows, but that other guy sleeps with the same woman with doing less than Dan Bilzerian did, right? What
status is contextual?
What difference does it? No, but this is what I'm saying. What difference does it make that he has status when the other random guy was able to attract that woman without doing half the stuff Dan Bilzerian's doing?
Yeah, I'm not saying you need to take it to Dan Bilzerian's extreme. I'm saying that within groups of people, there's always status deltas. There's differentials between status, and women are most attracted to the man with the highest status in their group.
But are they attracted to him or are they attracted to the status? That's what I'm trying to
always.
It's almost indistinguishable.
We have to be careful about the language we're using here because it's not an always thing. You know, evolutionary science has done a lot for contextualizing the mate selection process, but there are holes in that paradigm as well, right? There are other mate selection theories, right? The idea that women are attracted to men with resources, this has been well documented through time and across culture, but it also depends on her ideal. What does she consider her ideal type?
So would you say Travis Hunter's girl is attracted to him?
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know what Travis Hunter is? So so basically Travis Hunter is this football player.
I don't know any modern celebrities.
And he's been all over the internet. Everyone's telling this guy, your girl is playing you. She don't like you. She's just with you for your money and your status and all that other stuff. And she literally said on a live stream, he was never really my type. And there's other video footage of her getting with other guys and all this stuff. So he has high status, but his girl still shits on him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so like that's okay. Hey, he should leave that girl. But I think if you took the same football player and you put him into a room with a bunch of girls who know who he is, that is status. And like I think we could all agree, probably he'd have an easier time replacing her.
So he's a mark then.
Mark. Yeah. So is that?
Yeah, he's for sure a mark. But that's not a problem with his status. It's a problem with his behavior.
So do you believe that for women, that's this hypergamy thing? Do you think that's a good thing that they're doing this? Or you think they're doing it based upon? I don't think there's a good
or a bad to it. It just is.
No, because I don't believe in it. And there's several reasons why I don't believe in it. Because I do believe that women holds the same attracted men do. Like if she's attracted to you, she's attracted to you, regardless of the level. This levels, either she's attracted to you or she's not. And see, I don't know when women
you don't think there's any influence that you have over that?
I don't think. Well, the influence comes from the man. It comes from who I am. And so let me prime example, right?
Sure.
Prime example. I said this story before. There was a famous Sacramento King basketball player in the heyday of the Sacramento Kings. I'm up north in California, right? So I was pouncing on his girl. And meanwhile, I was at the homie house. I was a young cat. I was at the homie house in a spare room. And what I'm saying to you is she was coming to the house while they were playing games. And when I tell you, if I really wanted this woman, if I really wanted to push play on that woman, she would have been mine forever because she was into me. There was times I was sending her the voicemail. Didn't want to talk to her. But this is his main chick that he's walking around with. And so what I'm saying to you is that just knowing who I was as a man, she valued that. This other guy, she may have been goo-goo-eyed and happy that he was around, But it was something that I was doing that was touching her soul. And you know what that was? It was just me being me. She couldn't get enough of that. The drug is me.
Here's where I kind of think this is the entire point of maybe game or teaching these men. What is it about you that we could then take and put into one of these guys who's coming to us for coaching?
We can't.
That's what we're
we can't. We can't. And so we can't. I can't be duplicated. You can't be duplicated. No, let me tell you what we can do. What we can do.
Let me just real quick. I agree with what you're saying, Akeem. So there are certain behaviors that supersede these superficial trappings that women may be drawn to, right? So you were demonstrating behaviors on a level that were deeper than this guy's money and fame and so forth. And you were doing one of the most powerful things, which is being yourself, 50th Law style, right? So props to you, man. Yeah.
And I just wanted to say what we can teach men. Okay, this is what you teach men: to love yourself more than anybody can ever love you.
The end.
Because then you won't care about the outcome.
Never.
And if you don't care about the outcome, that woman, let me tell you something about women we know about women. Women want leverage. And if they can get it with their looks, if they can get it with their emotions, they will do that. And once they are powerless to know you don't care about her bottom half, you only care if she's functioning the way you want her with her upper half, you got her. And so you teach men.
Isn't that a tendency for every human though? Don't guys want leverage too? And I think also we have to ask ourselves, is this a woman who's educated and conscious of the way that she's behaving, or is she just operating on sort of primal reactionary type behavior? Because humans in general, if they're not trained to treat people in a certain respectful way, will naturally glom on to control and power and so forth. So you're making a generalization about women, but I don't think that holds for a woman who has a good moral standing.
Yeah.
Who, you know,
oh, yeah, it does.
Right,
because when a woman's into you, when a woman's into you, the reset button is reset. All of these teachings you're talking about, these moral compasses and and this is why men, it's inside of them. We are born with it, but the problem is that we have to teach it how to bring it to them. See, our nature, our man nature is to lead. And if we're not, that is where the leverage is, right? The leverage is we have to be able to lead you in order to protect you, in order to teach you, in order to give you these things that you value as a woman. We need to be able to have authority over you in order for you to be able to be under our program. And then we're going to be able to give you the things that you want. So we have to teach men. Go ahead.
This all falls under the category. This all falls under the category of what I call standard value. So standard value is all of the traditional mate selection theory that we've been taught. Women are attracted to leadership. Men are supposed to be dominant. We're supposed to be unapologetic. We're supposed to be this. We're supposed to be that. I believe that these are all fundamental lessons of the game that guys need to learn. But when we think that we've reached the pinnacle of game just because we know how to go up to a woman and directly tell her what we want, I think that's where we need to check ourselves, right? Because the game can be more nuanced than that.
Sir, but sir, I keep telling you, the game is not talking to women. I don't know why y'all push this narrative and make videos with guys just walking up to women, and they're like, y'all do this like bullshit ass social proof. The game has nothing to do with women. The problem is where y'all go wrong.
Social proof is not bullshit.
Come on, dog. What do y'all teach?
It is bullshit. I'm gonna tell you why it's bullshit.
That doesn't just apply to women, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's bullshit. Because social proof is bullshit. Because this is why they say
Coca-Cola.
Right, because the marketing is telling them to buy it, right? But guess what? How do I know if I like Coca-Cola? Hold on, wait. How do I know if I like Coca-Cola unless I drink it? Right? Yeah. I have to drink it. So you could have all the social proof in the world. The woman has to experience you. So she'd be like, oh, I think he's this guy. And then when she gets in contact with you or interact with you, she's like, damn, this guy's a loser. I thought he was cooler than this. But
So
the
I
social
agree.
No, I
proof,
agree.
I don't think it was.
I
think we
actually
all
agree
agree
with
on that.
I agree with Mr. Locario on this one. So social proof is basically attempting to use a fallacy to attract a woman's attention, right? The idea that everybody likes me, look at me, I'm social proofed, therefore you should want me too. Again, it depends on the woman and her training. If she's an unthinking, unaware woman, she's going to go, oh, maybe I should want him too, right? But if she thinks for herself, she's going to go, okay, other women are interested in him, he's social proofed, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's all that. I need to get to know him.
Sure. Okay, to take it to the Coca-Cola, you're never going to try Coca-Cola if you don't know what it is. So you use the social proof as your
that's not
marketing to
true.
get her to try you, and then if the Coca-Cola isn't good, then yeah, she's going to fuck off. If you're not a good product, then it doesn't matter. So you do have to start from a place of being a good man. I think we can probably all agree on that.
But they're not good men because they don't know how to be men. How are you teaching them how to be men to make?
Yeah. So it So it starts with you as the product, and this is actually something that I talk about within my program. Is we start with making you a good product, and then we build marketing around you.
Okay, but what marketing you building when they don't know how to fuck? They don't know how to talk dirty. They don't know how to shift from being smooth to seductive, to being romantic, to sensual, to sexual, to freaky, to dirty, to nasty, kinky, to naughty. Y'all don't understand that. These guys are one-trick Charlies that say one thing. And when a woman recognizes you can't fuck by the way you talk to her, she's just going to use you. And y'all are setting these guys
Steve,
up.
you
Yeah,
guys
so I
are the one
don't
doing the one
actually coach
Charlie.
many guys who are like actual losers, to be
You
honest.
guys are-
I
you
tend to
guys
coach
are the
guys
one-
who are decent dudes.
Steve, you guys are the one talking about the one note song here. We're talking about going direct or indirect or all sorts of in between. And you're saying, no, it's this way. This is
But this is what I'm saying. Who are you outside of who you are? It doesn't exist. It's you are who you are. So you are the one of one. This is what we're trying to tell you. So what is this thing where it's like, oh, well, I have to come at her like this, and then I come at her. So my question to you guys would be, do you guys change how you do things based on the woman? Or do you do things the same way based on how you do it? Which one is it?
It depends. So here's my take on that one, okay? That's a balancing act, right? There's the way the woman wants me to be. There's the way that I want to be. And then there's somewhere in the middle, right? If I compromise my way of being too much because I'm trying to fit the mold of what I think she wants, now I'm being manipulative or I'm being weak, right? But if all I do is insist that she falls into my frame, I'm going to game the way I want to game. And if she does what I do, what I want her to do, great. And if not, she can fuck off. Well, now I'm being a little narcissistic, right?
No. But why do you care what the woman wants?
Yeah, why do you
So
care?
it's a dance. Because if you are going to go dance with your woman or your partner or whatever, you're the man, you're still leading.
Did you say partner?
Yeah, whatever.
Wait, Locario.
Take that one back. But anyways, the point is, if you're dancing with your woman, then it's 99% you leading. But if you notice that she's doing something differently, you can still adapt to that without losing the lead.
But my
Does that make
friend,
sense?
yeah, but here's the problem. You're okay. I see what you're saying, but we got to look at the individuals you're saying it to. They're not decisive. They don't know how to be decisive. They don't know how to lead. They don't know how to be flexible.
Generalizations.
I'll disagree. So like a lot of the guys that I coach are like,
but hold on.
Like
hold on. So you said it's a dance. If you're dancing, isn't somebody leading?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I said most of it is you leading, but if she does something different, you adapt to it.
No. How are you adapting to her when she's supposed to adapt to you when you're leading?
Have you ever danced before?
Yes. And so what I'm saying is, if you're leading the dance, she should be following you. Why are you following her?
See, why do we go to that? Why do we go to that? Like, why do we say, like, we're like what you're saying, and I got an issue with that, but that's the part I got to push back on. Every time we say something that's maybe you feel like it's over masculine speaking, you always say that, oh, she's human, or she's a person. Okay. So, like almost reminding us like we don't know that. Like that.
So
that right there kind of I find interesting.
You guys never adapt your leadership to suit the individuals who are
Okay, Jordan. Let me ask you a question. Jordan, let me ask you a question. So if I own the NBA and I look for players to hire to play in the NBA, do I adapt my company to them, or do they have to adapt to the company?
Come on, dog.
So they mostly adapt to the company, but a good leader can see when to be strict with one person and when to be more relaxed with another. I don't think
So
that's
no,
up for
but
debate
does
at
the
all.
company change for the people they hire?
No.
No.
No, but you can still adapt your style of leadership.
So
to be more effective.
do you adapt your purpose for a woman?
It's
Say no.
probably
I'm
90% my mission, and then there's 10%, okay, this
Oh,
is a
God.
person. And this is where I'm saying individual and gender neutral
Yeah.
things, not because we're talking about even just dating anymore. I'm talking about as a leader, you have to be somewhat adaptable.
Your
Does that make
purpose.
sense?
Are you adjusting for a woman?
The right woman is not going to make you change your purpose, right? I
Well,
don't. deal with
that's what he's
women that
saying.
expect me
He's
to
just
change
saying
my
that
purpose.
they would. That's why I was asking, because he's saying that you do. He said 90% of it is my purpose. 10% is probably going to be negotiable. That's what he just said.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy
So
to
this
say.
is
So
it,
you
it
have your
definitely.
mission,
So
and we're going to accomplish the mission. But if we do that in a slightly different
No.
path because I've
So-
chosen this particular woman,
So
I
wait,
don't
Jordan,
think
you ever
crazy.
been in the Target store?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the color of the shirt they wear?
They were red.
Right. So have you seen a Target employee just wearing whatever shirt they felt like wearing because you got to do 10% of what they want, or does everybody wear red in there?
Thank you.
Okay, well, do they have different
Here's
haircuts?
the question, though. Here's what this
That's
comes
10%
down to.
different.
Okay, Hashim, Mr. Locario, your style of game is going to work for you, and if you keep sharpening this blade that you're sharpening, it'll get sharper and sharper, and you will attract certain type of women. The question is, what is the burn rate for running your style of game compared to being a little bit more
Burn?
flexible?
What do you mean
in
by
terms
burn
of
rate? I'm
Yeah,
confused.
please
What does that
tell me
mean?
what that
women
means.
that are
What does
not
that mean?
interested in you?
What does burn rate mean?
Women that are not interested.
No, I want that rate to be extremely high.
High
Right.
as hell. High as hell.
Yeah.
I
Same.
want that rate to be so high that I can't even fathom, because those women are not for me.
In theory, right? We have being the guy that we think women want us to be, and
No,
according to guys, becoming like a
no.
pop song, right? And then on the other end, we have the extreme opposite, which is this is who I am, and I'm completely uncompromising about it. And I think every guy needs to decide for himself where he falls on that spectrum. I am a little bit more in the school of thought with you guys, where I'm going to be me through and through, and if the girl doesn't like it, she doesn't like it. You know, that doesn't mean
Are you gonna leave her for it though? If she doesn't like it, are you gonna leave her for it?
Yeah.
So if you're in a relationship for 12 years,
yeah,
and let's just say 12 years, everything was clicking, but that 12th year, she wakes up and decides, says, "Hey, look, I know you've been leading us this way, but I really think that the direction we need to go is this way." And you be like, "Yeah, nah." Are you going to walk away from are you going to adapt your game to this woman so that way you guys can lead a certain way? Are you going to leave her?
I am going to fight for my relationship to a certain extent. And if it's not salvageable,
I'm not.
Yeah, if it's something
you're
that
not
I
going to
completely
fight for your
disagree with, then I'll leave.
I could be
your wife, the mother of your children.
I'm not. And you know, I'm not. And you know why? Because I didn't do a good enough job in order for her to understand the value of going the opposite direction of me.
Yeah.
So again, I
sacrifice.
think we probably agree on this more than we disagree. If this is a 10% issue that is non-negotiable for me, then yeah, fuck off. Don't care. I'll find another one. But I think it's worth hearing people out generally. And
of course,
I think
you can
that
hear them
women
out.
can have good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're on the page of hearing them out. And if she doesn't want to listen to me and we disagree on it, then yeah.
It's one thing to hear it out versus challenging authority, though. I'm saying if she challenges my authority,
we can't keep hearing you out though. Like there's also a limit to that. Like you're not gonna keep asking me why. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because at some point, we all have to understand if someone keeps asking you why, they don't agree with you to begin with.
Right. That's a fact.
Right. So we're not going to keep asking me why. There's limits to that too. I'm gonna tell you. I think because society has made men believe that having authority over yourself and your relationship is such a problem, it's almost cringe. Like certain women, certain men will not speak like that. I don't know what that sound is.
Later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think that's ice.
So I don't
playing me.
Yeah, I don't think that men are even comfortable with saying they're in charge of the woman they're with. I'm not only responsible, but I'm in charge.
Can I request something real quick? I want to request 60 seconds of uninterrupted talk. Can I talk for 60 seconds without an interruption?
Oh yeah. Go ahead, man.
That's my request.
I'll go after you.
I'm gonna go ahead and put these feet up.
I think we should all do that. I think we should all pass the talking stick, right?
Oh wait. Okay.
Pause.
Let's call this. Let's call this the
time
card.
Were we throwing a little fuzzy ball at each other?
You read next.
Like junior high, exactly.
Each of you can request a time card. That's a good idea. So you're calling in your time card. Let's go. I'm gonna keep track of the time.
Oh, I only get one time card to call in. All right, I'll call it.
We'll see. Whatever.
I thought it was a pretty easy debate. I thought it was going really well. Go ahead.
Here's the deal. I would like to be uninterrupted here. Okay, so here's the issue that I see again with coaches across the community of the dating coaching, the manosphere, the pickup artists, whatever, is guys will get a system that works for them. And then they teach that system as if this is the best, most optimized system. Okay. The style of game that you guys are running, I get it. You guys act like I don't understand it. I don't get it. I could break down the style of game that you're using in great detail and extreme nuance. Okay. Directness levels, intensity levels, positive and negative tactics, push and pull, all sorts of stuff, okay? It's more about painting a broad picture for guys, giving them a complete picture of the different options they have when running their game and letting them pick and choose the style of game that feels best for them. You know, you guys are saying that we're the one-trick ponies over here, this is weak, this is whatever. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just agreeing with you. No, I'm sorry. I'll go after you. I'm just agreeing that y'all want you.
Directness level is one dimension of several dimensions to tactics. It's not one or the other. You're not being direct or indirect. You can be both and at different times, right? Let me ask you this, Steve. Do you ever stand in a way that you think will be attractive to women? You ever post up against a bar and stand with good stuff with the intent
that can't be a question.
I've never done that in my life. I've never.
Is that a real? Come on, bro. So Blaze,
Hashim,
Blaze. I like Blaze. Come on, Blaze.
Indirect tactic when you're standing around with your friends.
Come on. So you stand on a wall a certain way for a woman.
Put off a certain vibe to the women out there. You've never put a vibe out.
So are you saying you stand a certain way for a woman, Blaze?
Stop that, Blaze.
Come on, bro. I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
So you're pandering.
Yeah, I will.
For women.
If I'm in a social environment and there's a hot girl that I want, okay, and let's just say, for sake of being shrewd here, she's a rather attractive woman. There's science that shows that more attractive a woman thinks that she is compared to other women, she tends to behave differently as well. Let's say there's one of those women over there, an attractive woman, and I want to get her attention. I'm not necessarily walking up to her. I am maybe going to put a vibe out to her and try to draw her attention to me before I engage.
Let's get into that.
Her group. I'll go direct or indirect.
So Blaze, I'm a
Blaze.
Blaze.
Let me get into that real quick, because so basically what you're saying is you change your behavior based on the how hot you think the girl is, or how hot you think she thinks she is.
There's a key word in there. I may change my behavior, and no, it doesn't depend on that either. But what I'm saying is there is science to support that. The more attractive a woman thinks that she is compared to other women, the more her behavior changes, and the more attractive she thinks she is compared to the guy in question, the more her behavior changes as well.
That's
okay, so
I don't think
now,
you should sit there and like stand there and try to post up looking cool. I think that's a little silly.
Blaze, have you ever been on the street before? Blaze, let me ask you a question, Blaze. Have you ever been on the street?
Bro, I'm street as fuck, man. What are you talking about, Steve? Look at me. No, I'm kidding.
Come on, Blaze. Oh, okay. I knew he was playing.
Blaze, what I'm saying to you, Blaze,
I got jokes.
You gotta understand. Okay, Blaze. I was before the internet. I was 9 when I got into the game, before the internet, born in 71, 53. So I was before all this pickup PUA. I saw the seduction community. I saw what it did to young men. And today, a lot of these young men are offing themselves because they can't handle what the magicians that tell them to wear boas, goggles, and all that goofy pickup artist stuff is doing them today. And it's our duty as men to make sure that we protect these young boys. And what y'all are doing is y'all are using, see, you're going book smarts. I get it. Y'all are not on the street. Y'all don't know anything about the street game. You know nothing about pimps, max, hustlers, players, and ballers. You know arithmetic, math, social studies, and science.
I know guys on the street also will pose sometimes. They will posture and pose.
Fonzie? You talking about Fonzie?
Not fun. Wait.
Fonzie,
So hold on.
dog.
Let me ask this real quick. Let me ask this real quick because on the last show we were talking about this topic. So and I want to know Ablaze and Jordan's thoughts on this. So what do y'all think about? Because I know that you have the concept of shit tests. Like I like to pass women shit tests. So like, why do y'all do that when you can just find a woman who is not going to shit test you?
So I disagree
So I come
with
from a
shit
sales
tests.
background.
I disagree with shit tests. I don't deal with women that shit test me because I'm not going to let her set a negative precedent with me. She's going to behave in a negative way towards me, and I'm going to reward her by flirting with her more. No, I don't. I will deal with just a little bit of playful sarcasm. If she's being playful and cheeky with me, I'll banter back.
But you're rewarding her by standing a certain way.
If she's being genuinely disrespectful to me, I'll hit on her friend, just like you said. I'll hit on her friend right in front of her, and her friend goes,
to me,
"Wait
the
a minute,
line
you
is
just hit on me."
I don't think.
Yeah, I did.
versus-
Yeah.
Hey,
To me, the line is genuine disrespect versus just a little bit of.
So
I don't expect a woman to immediately know who I am based off of 5 seconds of interaction. I think the same can be true.
So-
I basically view it as like, oh, no, it's entitlement. You don't know who I am. I get it. It's kind of like, again, if you were to picture Donald Trump walks up to some dude who's stocking the shelves at Target and he dropped his wallet, he's trying to give him the wallet or whatever it is. Donald Trump is not going to walk away if the dude's like, I don't want to talk right now. You'd be like, no, dude, you dropped the wallet.
Shout out to Trump, though. Shout out to Trump, man. Shout out to Trump, man. Yeah, but real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, Steve. Just real quick. I wanted to say this is a small elephant in the room for me, right? The small elephant, I want y'all to be honest, right? Do you believe that you can bring your game to the trenches and be successful? And you know what I mean? If you can you come to, look, you from Chicago, South Side of Chicago, you can go into a bar, the deep trenches bar, and you can be successful. Either one of you.
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
And this is where I'll push back. And let me tell you why. Right? Because you look, you have to be so authentically you, and you gotta have a certain edge to you in order for them to respect you off top. I mean, I ain't even before to open them the mouth. And I ain't talking about you can posture, but they know. you can stand at that door. But I'm saying a person like me, I can go any country, any part of the land, and this direct game is gonna be directly on them. As soon as I done been places. Let me tell you something. I'm from California. I done bounced down to Beverly Hills, been in front of the Gucci store. And I'm telling you right now, I'm talking about ladies that you know have never smelt the trenches. Oh, they are so openly eager and can't wait for a man to call. There's a difference. You know what the difference is? This is universal game. This is the game that can help everyone be yourself, be authentically you, and you will attract the women who fuck with you. Excuse my language.
I want to say something real
Okay,
quick.
I agree with
Hold
again
on.
80% of that. The difference is if the authentic version of yourself is I'm going to sit on my couch and play video games all day, then you're authentically not going to get women. So there is a point of self-improvement.
But that's not the authentic self of these guys, because these guys still want to fuck. So where's the part of them that
so you
wants
have
to
to
fuck that's
change
actually
some
going
of
out?
your behaviors to become a more attractive man. Can we all agree on that?
Right.
Okay,
But this is what I want.
So
right,
then are you not
say,
changing some of your behaviors to be more attractive to women?
This is what I want. This is what I'm saying. You're not changing it. What you're doing is that you are taking off the bullshit that you got in your mind and becoming who you naturally are. So you don't have to add anything to you. You have to actually subtract shit, meaning you got to subtract the doubt, you got to subtract the scarcity, you got to subtract that fear, and then the real you will come out. Just like when guys say, you know what, I don't know what to say to women. No, you know exactly what to say to women. You're just scared to say what you want to say to women because you're scared they're going to reject you.
So, I want to say this really quick because I'm not saying this about Jordan, Blaze, or anybody on this panel. So I want to say this really quick. I'm looking in the chats, and what I'm saying is, and it's a reason why I said it. I'm looking in the chat, and they said, "Oh, well, we don't want Keisha." All right. So there is a lot of beautiful, smart women in these neighborhoods that people wouldn't so-call great. There's some great women in these neighborhoods. We can all agree upon that, and especially if you're a man that have experience with women, you understand that these women are all over, because there's women in areas that Backbone, Alabama. There's going to be some cool women back there too that we necessarily wouldn't think that they're right. But what I'm saying, I wanted to say this because we have to teach men to be able to communicate with women no matter where they're at on the planet. And in order to do that, they have to be authentically themselves, and they can never adapt to their environment.
It can't.
Right. And real quick, I want to say something to Ablaze. I don't want to forget this because I noticed you said, and I agree with you, where you said that, look, if a woman's going to give me that shit test, I don't even bother with her, right? So you're basically saying if the woman isn't cooperating, I'm not really fucking with her because she's not really, she's giving me that resistance. So my question is, if that's the case, why not be direct with that woman so that she can show you if she's going to reciprocate or not, and then just deal with her and not deal with her?
So I'm glad you ended that question with the word reciprocate, because I don't think about cooperation. I think about reciprocation. Cooperation is actually a good word too. Cooperation. Okay, fair enough. I don't like compliance though. Compliance is a word I'm not too fond of. But here's the deal. I don't expect her to be interested in me before I tell her anything about me. And yes,
I do.
In a short little blast off an approach, I can convey a lot of personality. There is a way to open direct very effectively, have strong impact, and she gets a sense of the man that I am, okay? But depending on the situation, it may take a more artful display of who I am. She may need to see me work the room a little bit before she's, giving me the indicators of interest, the signals that I'm looking for.
So see, Blaze, hold on real quick. I got to go real quick. So this is the problem. So what's happening is, and this is what I hear a lot of times where guys are saying, well, I have to demonstrate or show her who I am, what I'm about in order to make things happen. What I'm saying is this, is that women know when they're talking to a man, and they know they're talking to a man they're attracted to. So what happens is a woman needs to recognize that you're that guy. Recognize means recognize, to re-know. So to know again, she understands this. And I used the example of before I was talking about with Dr. Dre. If a dude saw Dr. Dre and he was a rapper, he'd be like, oh, I see that's Dr. Dre. So if Dr. Dre says, hey, spit some rhymes for me, he's not going to give him any resistance because it's Dr. Dre. He recognizes it's Dr. Dre. Now, if another guy who was a rapper didn't recognize Dr. Dre, whose loss is it? It's his fault for not recognizing Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre doesn't have to prove he's Dr. Dre. He already knows he's that man. So if I know I'm that man, why am I trying to demonstrate that I am that man to that woman to get her to like? You see what I'm saying?
Let's follow that analogy. Actually, I really like the analogy. So let's look at, okay, Dr. Dre is walking up to some unsigned artist and he's like, you know what, that seems like the kind of guy that I might want to collaborate with. Hey, we're walking up to a girl, we think, okay, this might be the kind of girl that I want to go on a date with. If he taps that guy on the shoulder, says, hey, what's up, man, nice to meet you, and the guy says, I'm busy right now, Dr. Dre's like, no, you don't understand, I'm Dr. Dre. That's entitlement. No, that's not chasing, that's entitlement. No. Dude, you don't understand. I'm Dr. Dre. I have an amazing opportunity. And if the guy does it again, then you tell him to fuck off. But if it's this girl just doesn't know how amazing I am yet. Oh, that's funny. It's silly. It's like, oh, okay, you just don't know yet. All right, no problem. Hey, I'm the shit. Does that make sense?
Right, and so what I'm saying is that if you're Dr. Dre, you're not going to try to prove you're Dr. Dre. You're not going to be chasing somebody down, trying to show them and display. Oh, let me show you my records. I'll go on Google and show. He doesn't need to do that because he's him. So what I'm saying is that the person has to recognize it. And so this is the same thing with women. Women know when they're dealing with a man. So women choose whether or not they're going to cooperate or not. They choose whether they're going to be bitchy or not. They choose whether or not they're going to give you the shit test or not. So they're making choices to do this stuff. So this is why I say, when I'm basically letting a woman know what it is, all I'm seeing or looking for is cooperation, which is why I don't need to be indirect, because I need for her to recognize. She can't recognize if I'm indirect. If I'm indirect, I'm giving her an experience that's not really fully me. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking
So,
about.
and
You're
again,
giving her
I
an
think
intro.
you and
It's like an
I
intro
go
to a
direct
song.
about 80–90% of the time. So we're on the same page on that. It's just whether or not we get this token amount of resistance, whether or not we run away after that.
Look, some songs hit you right away. The song comes on the radio. Damn, I like this song within seconds, right? Sometimes songs have a little bit of a longer intro. You know, they gradually build up to giving the full song, you know, so you're hitting women with your personality and with your presence and so forth right off the bat. And there are a lot of women that are going to gravitate to that. You're a good looking dude. You have good style. I don't know how tall you are, but you're probably a tall, bigger, stronger dude. You're approaching these women and they are recognizing right off the bat, this guy is worth getting to know. Not every guy has that impact value, right? Some guys have to be a little bit more coy about how they display their personality. Not all the time. Once again, I'll go direct, but I also want the option to go indirect if I don't see the path in right off the bat. And no, I don't want to waste time forever. No, I don't want to hide behind somebody that I'm not. But going indirect is often, not always, but often a smoother way of doing it. And women see that and appreciate the tact. They recognize the dude who knows how to navigate a social situation instead of just barging into her and her friends and her family and whoever she's with. And hey, this is what it is. You're either cooperating or you're not. It doesn't need to be so definitive every time.
Right, but
That's why I said direct
see,
game. That's why I said too, direct game and indirect are not an either or. There's a sliding scale of direct and indirect.
right. So, but this is the thing. I just want to say this because I think the issue though is this, right? Is that in any situation, right? Somebody's leading and somebody's following. Somebody is, you know, the more dominant one. Someone is the more submissive one. So
Sure.
I understand what you're saying as far as like, okay, some guys may feel like, oh, I can't go direct. I'm gonna go indirect because of this. But the act of going indirect or feeling like you have to go indirect is the issue, because you spiral down more into that pattern of interacting with women, because now you feel like you have to submit to whatever you think they want to hear from you.
But
Versus,
you're basically making the argument then for the whole hypergamy thing, the idea that we all sort of exist in a social status environment and we're constantly gauging who's of higher value and who's not. See,
no, I'm not talking
operate
about higher
normally from
value.
that.
I'm talking about the guy, how he sees himself. And that's going to play out into how he interacts with the woman, which is going to let the woman know how he views her. So meaning that if I'm direct and I'm letting a woman know what it is, and I'm basically saying you have to cooperate with me to get more of my time, attention, energy, and my dick, right? What I'm saying is she has to submit to me. If I'm coming indirect, I'm automatically submitting to her because I'm essentially holding back some of me to try to get in with her. You see what I'm saying?
You can go indirect and switch up to direct within seconds. There's times where you open a group indirect.
So here, let me give an
literally
example
within a
that
matter of
actually was
seconds, you can
indirect that worked
switch
out
up to
very well for
direct.
me. I ended up going out to a bar with a couple of friends, and my friends introduced me to this girl who I hadn't seen yet, but she joins into our conversation. And off the rip, I could tell, okay, well, she seems a little bit into me, but there's a bunch of other women in this bar. I don't know for sure if I want this girl yet. But as the night progressed, she started giving me more and more compliance, showing me more and more interest. Never once had to hit on her, but we ended up sleeping together that night. It was still indirect. I didn't have to walk up and talk to this girl and say, oh, I think you're so beautiful. She basically fell into my lap. And if I would have gone directly there and been like, oh, you're so pretty, to a degree, that's actually giving away my power.
Did you choose her or she chose you?
She basically chose me.
She chose you, dog. And so this is what I'm saying. If you all this indirect, if you're not direct, you're the one being chosen. She's choosing you.
But that's still the same if you're walking up and you're asking her in that moment, hey, I think you're very attractive. You're now relying on whether or not she chooses you.
Right, but
whatever you say to the girl when you walk up, what do you usually say? What's your typical hello introduction?
But Jordan,
I just roll up and say, I'm here. I'm here for this.
Okay. Yeah.
Me
So
and
you're
you,
still asking
me-
her to decide whether or not she likes you in that
No,
moment.
no.
If anything,
No,
in that
hey.
moment, I gave her a greater opportunity to decide.
I don't
Oh,
even
wow,
say
this guy
hi
is
most
funny.
of the
He
time.
is
I don't
interesting.
ask for names. I go right in. And I don't there is no, it's almost like a natural feeling for everybody. Cause I'm going right in and like, look here, I'm here for it. Me and you right now. And me and you about to make some magic either later or later on. All right. So these women are either they're going to go right with it or they're not. And then when they're not, like, okay, well, look, you have a great rest of your life. Enjoy it. And I walk up out of there.
Because see, this is the thing, Jordan, with that girl who you were kind of not even really paying too much attention to, if you would have been direct with her, she would have still said yes and did it. If you were indirect with her, she would have been said yes and did it. Now, if you were with a woman who wasn't interested in you, if you were direct with her, she would have said no, and it would have never happened. And if you were indirect with her, she would have said no, and it wouldn't have happened. So basically, what it is that when you're
in this particular scenario about still getting her if I went direct. If I would have gone direct early on and started hitting on this girl, it would have been inappropriate for that social situation, and it wouldn't have worked out in my favor.
So you think the girl who wanted to fuck you would have been like, you know what? I think this is inappropriate. I'm not gonna have sex with him. Like she would have done that.
I can see if y'all was working together, right? But what's inappropriate outside of that? Like what?
Yeah, what would have been inappropriate?
What's inappropriate?
Yeah, so again, this is a social circle situation. So we're going to see each other again. And at the beginning of that interaction, the first 30 seconds, the first minute, the first 5 minutes, neither one of us knows whether or not we're actually interested in having sex that night. What happens is we get to know each other more and more as the night goes on, and then we develop this attraction. So 30 minutes in, an hour in, 2 hours in, yeah, I could have gone direct. But in that first 5 minutes, if I would have been like, oh, you're hot, all of a sudden I've lost my value in that social context.
So you think a woman doesn't know that she wants to sleep with you?
Wait, so your value is lost by telling the girl she's hot?
So there's a buyer and seller dynamic at play here. You always want to be the one with the value, and she's trying to pursue you. There's only room for one person to chase in a relationship.
Jordan,
all of a sudden I start chasing her by expressing my interest. I've violated that buyer-seller dynamic, and I've become lower value.
So Jordan, if Dr. Dre says the rapper is nice and he has a good flow, that means that lowers Dr. Dre's value?
If he says it without hearing the rapper's flow.
Okay, but
hey man, I teach dominance. So for me, I think in being anything but dominant is submissive.
There's dominance.
So I cannot.
So what we're talking about here is, again,
I cannot.
90% of the time I go direct, but in that particular
I just
case,
can't sit back.
An extra girl that you guys wouldn't have gotten. Like
if I want to talk to this woman, I'm going to talk to this. There's no waiting around, and so this is where I just push back on what you're saying, because it's like this whole big charade you're playing.
Yeah, game. You're playing a game.
It's like I don't know why don't you just let her know what's up? And if you're the guy, she's going to say,
again,
you know what?
because
This
it's
is
a
the guy.
social circle environment. If I let her know and she's not feeling it, then all of a sudden, because women talk to each other, and this is where
I want him to talk to
100% right about a burn rate. All of a sudden, she goes around to all of the other girls in that social circle and says,
I want her.
She hit on me, and I wasn't feeling it. And
hold on. See, now
loses that interest because you've been rejected.
Now I understand. You care about what they're talking about.
Who cares?
So I'm the person. So you telling me this is what you're saying. In a social environment, if I was to talk to a girl and we was in there vibing for a minute, I gave her my number, she see me 2 minutes later, you're not going to go to a bar, you see somebody else, and you wouldn't then start.
So now we're talking about
doing the same thing
outside of the social circle environment.
No. I'm talking about everybody there. Everybody there is in the social circle. Are you telling me
that you're going to limit? No?
You're going to limit yourself based upon that one interaction?
So you're letting the woman lead you, Jordan. You're sitting around here saying, I'm going to this.
No, I will talk to 10 women in the same place.
I want them to.
Hey, I don't owe these women nothing.
Right, Jordan. I'm asking you, you keep saying I'm trying to get to know this woman. What in the hell do you give a fuck about that woman other than if she gonna put her face in the pillow and her ass in the air? What is so special
Because
about
I actually like women. Outside of just
like-
sex, I
like-
enjoy female company. I find
Okay,
it
but
rewarding. I like
that's a
sex.
very
I like
female
having
answer.
sex with
Rewarding.
women, but I'm also
What is-
okay hanging out with a woman without
Jordan, come
fucking.
on, are you
And I don't know
okay?
why that's so hard for you guys to
Jordan,
understand.
I love my
I
sisters.
don't enjoy that.
I love
Either
my
we making
sisters.
money or we fucking. That's the only
But we
thing.
don't hang out.
What-
Wait,
that's-
Mr. Locario, say that again. So a woman is either good for making money with you or fucking. That's it.
Yeah, so either we making money or we
Oh,
fucking. So it's either one of
Yes.
those two things. It's under that
me
umbrella.
ask
So
you guys-
either
let
we
me-
fucking meaning she's my woman or
Yeah.
we making money together. Anything
me
else
ask you-
outside of that, I don't need her.
Let me ask you guys a question. So do you think there's no way to be masculine and dominant and still
Be
game
soft.
indirectly? And by game indirectly, like structuring an opportunity for the woman to pursue me. Imagine in a social
No, that's what
situation,
we
pursuing me.
do.
I'm
That's what
putting
we
out-
do.
Opportunity.
She is pursuing me. I hear what you're saying, but she is pursuing me.
That's
Yeah.
what we do.
We're
But I'm
saying,
saying, like, isn't there such a thing? Let's just visualize it for a second. We're in a club. Let's imagine we're all together. We're in the VIP section, right? All of us are sitting there chilling in VIP. You
Mhm.
don't think there's such a thing as putting off a pulse into the crowd
no.
to draw
Yeah,
women to us?
it's
just
who I am.
walking up and saying,
I don't
what
believe
it
about
is.
all that.
I'm infectious.
but-
I'm infectious.
I feel like
Hey,
I'm
I'm-
in the room, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I don't give a fuck what any of y'all do. If I see someone I'm talking to, I'll be right back. I'm gone. I'm breaking from y'all. I don't care what y'all do.
Well,
Do whatever you want to do. I'm going to talk to who I want to talk to.
Yeah.
But again, like I'm saying, this is what you understand. When you have game, we don't run behind pussy. We show them why they should get on our dick. That's the difference. You're saying that, well, I want to pander, shuck and jive and do all these dances just to get a little bit of approval to get your fucking friendship. How is that could do? How is your friendship going to help me when I'm showing you?
Here, I got one for you. I'll explain it to you.
So what
For
part
me,
of not
well, let me just
chasing the
clarify
girl is
first of all
pandering?
as well. I'm actually engaged right now, okay? So I'm not playing this game per se anymore, but when I was, it's all about the game, and I love the game just as much as I love the end result.
Game
Do
is
I
all
like
about yourself.
do I like hooking up with girls? Yeah, I like hooking up with girls, but I love the process. I love watching it all unfold. I like the nuances. I like the art. I like a good narrative arc of a love story. It's not just let me snap my fingers and get the girl. Sometimes, yeah, let's be real. Sometimes I see a girl and I'm like, I want her now, right? But I also enjoy the game. I enjoy
So in that route, do you think you're limiting your do you think you're limiting yourself with
there are
other women?
downsides to both methods.
Yeah,
Indirect game has its downsides.
But do you
Direct
care, though?
game has its downsides.
But do you care? But you don't care because
I
it
don't
doesn't
care.
fit
No,
who you are.
no. Generally speaking, let me clarify. Generally speaking, I'm a fan of running my game the way I want to run it in each and every moment. So sometimes I want to go direct. Sometimes I want to go indirect and pull the girl to me, right? It depends on the situation. When a guy is first starting out and he's first learning the game, I'm a big fan of teaching him both styles. Teach him how to go direct, teach him how to be that man that goes after what he wants and creates an impact right upon the open. And also teach him, hey, there's a more laid back, chill style of game as well. As long as he's not excusing himself, as long as he's not using that as an excuse to be weak and subservient, so there's pros and cons to both sides of the spectrum.
But Ablaze, I heard you say that there's. I mean, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly how you said it, but you basically said something to the effect of you would sort of you're trying to figure out how the woman wants you to be.
No.
I
mean, I'm going to read a situation as long as I'm not completely violating some social norm in a very blatant way. I'm going to game the way that I want to game. But simultaneously, I acknowledge the shared reality that I live in with these women. It's not, this is my reality, you're a guest in it. We live in a shared reality. So I try to respect where the woman's at. I try to observe my surroundings. And at the same time, I'm going to sing my song. You don't like my song? You don't like my song. I'm going to sing it anyway.
Like,
Right.
So you're more. So you're like with the you like the compromising type of.
It's
thing,
not
right?
necessarily compromise either. It's more it's ideal game theory is what it is, right? So let me explain this. Ideal mate theory.
This is wild.
No. Let me explain, right? Because the pickup community and all of the manosphere, whatever, they operate under evolutionary and economic mate selection theory. That's what most of it operates from.
That's not
Even a lot of what you guys, no, Steve, even a lot of what you guys are explaining goes back to evolutionary and economic mate selection theory. The idea of being a man, and this is what a man is, this is what masculinity is. There's also different mate selection theories out there. One such theory, if I may, is called ideal mate theory. And it's the idea that each person has an ideal of what their lover looks like, and they have an ideal as to way the process goes down, okay? So I'm not looking at the woman and saying, let me figure out what her ideal is and then fitting myself to be that person. I'm developing my game in a way that's ideal to myself. And that does include a little bit of acknowledging what women are attracted to on the whole. It does involve a little bit of asking, what is this woman's ideal? I will calibrate my game a little bit, especially off the open, because women are often resistant to strange guys approaching them. So after the open, I'm giving her larger and larger doses of my personality. Even if I go indirect, even if I open indirect, at some point, she needs to get larger and larger doses of who I truly am. Sometimes I give her that dose right off the open and I go direct. Oftentimes it's not the right move.
Blaze,
and oftentimes I'm not.
Blaze, here's the problem. I mean, Blaze, check it out. So this is what y'all don't understand, because all this book shit y'all saying is killing these young boys. I'm not on street games. Here's the thing. The bottom line is, every woman you're saying you're talking to, Blaze, that bitch is a subtotal of every fucking loser that she's known since elementary school. That has created her reality. That's created her self-concept. That's created her belief system. That's created her morals and her judgment compass. Losers that kiss her ass and bend over. And that's why they always say, well, nice guys always finish last. I'm a nice guy. Why can't she like me? I'm a good guy. Women don't want pussies, buddy. They want.
I think we can all agree on that.
Right, but then he's saying, but then this is the thing. He's saying that he's acquiescing to the woman though at some point.
Then going into.
So again, let's take it to an actual example of indirect game being used in the field successfully. What's happening here is, if you go direct, you're setting yourself up for a situation where probably you don't get the girl and there is a negative social impact. Now, again, in most situations, you should go direct. You walk up to the girl, you're in an environment where people don't know each other, you're at the bar, you're at the coffee shop, whatever. In most of those places, you go in direct, you're saying, hey, I'm into whatever piece of you, let's talk. But in this particular instance, this is a place, and a lot of guys will find themselves in situations where they're meeting their girls through their friend group, or they're meeting their girls through work. In those situations, there is a social impact to going to direct. So wait,
what is that social impact? What is that social impact? So I'm in a situation.
We already talked about it. So there's actually, again, if you guys read the status game, it's hypothesized that we developed the ability to speak strictly to gossip. That's the entire reason that we evolved that.
That's not true.
Anyways,
no, Jordan. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying on a practical level.
On a practical level, Jordan. But again, women gossip.
Who cares?
They actually care about each other's opinions. So again, with the girl at the bar that we don't know, who doesn't know our social circle, who doesn't know our friends, who gives a fuck? But in the social situation where there is a reputation to account for, it matters. And I think it's autistic to tell men that doesn't matter, and you just need to be your genuine self. If your genuine self is bad, then you hurt your reputation.
Okay, Jordan, now hold on real quick. So there's a group of people that I know, social circle. There's 4 girls.
Yes.
I let one of the girls know that I am interested in hooking up or making something happen with her later that night or the weekend. She declined. She's not interested. Now, what is the consequence? What's going to happen to me as a consequence of that happening?
And add dragons.
You don't get her. You don't get all 3 of the other girls, and you probably
wait. So wait.
And now you lose those friends.
Wait. Okay. So let's say that happens. Why would I care?
Thank you.
I mean, you don't like having female friends, and you don't like having these big parties and shit. So I guess nothing.
Right. But also,
what makes you think? I like to go to these big events. I like to be in places that just the regular average dude.
You guys are so much for female friends only when it benefits you, because you don't believe in your own woman. When your own woman is not, you're not okay with your own woman having male friends. You're not.
So wait, Jordan, you don't believe that if one woman says no, the other one's gonna say yes?
There's a pretty strong chance that you shoot your shot with that one girl, she tells her friends about it, and you don't get played from the other ones. It's not impossible for you to go get one of the other ones, but it substantially hurts your chances.
For
How?
what? How
How?
there's no chances because okay, y'all got to get again. Y'all have this Seinfeld Beverly Hills with 90210 hang out at the Peach Pit, and everybody's got a like, and everybody's got a date.
Oh, Steve, come on.
No,
now.
I'm serious. I'm being dead ass serious. Come on, Blaze.
Peach Pit is real.
Yeah, what is all this? What is all this social circle bullshit? Let me tell you something.
It's data. It's data.
If I'm talking to one
It's
woman,
not data, it's the
Well, no,
shit
if
that
I'm-
I do.
if
It's
I'm talking-
a
right.
massive source of women in your
Listen,
life, and it's
it's
very
right.
low effort.
I
If
wanna
you can
fuck-
have a bunch of girls over to your house to build gingerbread houses or whatever the fuck you like
Oh,
to
you
do.
think I'm
wanna play
building
some orchestra,
gingerbread
you
houses?
have a wine night and
Gingerbread
you have a bunch of women over
We're-
to your
we're
On the
house.
other
building
side, that's
gingerbread
it.
houses?
I've converted.
Crazy. Crazy.
Bro, are we
I'm
building
telling you
gingerbread
guys,
houses,
there is
bro?
for those of you who in the chat right now who are listening to all of this, there is an opportunity to have 8 girls at your house because they like your vibe. At
Should I
least
fucking-
one of them is going to be into you. But if you hit on all of those girls, they never come.
Wait, why are 8 girls at your house that you're not fucking?
How? Yeah, what,
I don't get it,
Who
man.
says I'm not fucking
I'm
1,
lost.
2, 3, or 4?
I'm
I
not
got a
in-
question. I got a question for.
happen.
I got a question for all you guys. I got a question for all you guys.
Yeah.
When you're hooking up with a girl, does she typically like it when you just get straight down to business, or does she like foreplay? Does she like to be teased? Does she like it when things move slow and then build up to more intense? As
I
a
don't-
general
I-
rule, of course,
Yeah. And generally, I don't
course
care.
I couldn't tell you because I don't ask.
you don't care.
Yeah.
So you don't care
No.
if the woman
Yeah.
likes foreplay or she likes it.
No.
to
The
build up
only time I
slow.
care for a woman likes
Yeah.
foreplay or anything else is when she becomes my girlfriend or wife.
Okay,
Any
so
woman
you
before that, I don't give a
compartmentalize
shit.
girls into girls that are worthy of you giving energy and effort to, and
Yes.
girls you're just
I
going to
agree.
treat them however you
Absolutely.
want.
Yes. She has to earn, a woman
I
has
agree
to earn
because
everything.
women will do that to you. They do that to you too.
It
They
doesn't
will.
make
They
it
will.
right.
They won't. They will not do certain things for you. They won't do things for you that's not your. No. What I'm saying is that's the philosophy of someone taking care of themselves. You got to take care of you.
Okay,
You
I
have
believe
to.
in taking care of myself, right? But I also don't believe in taking care of myself to the detriment of others. So you guys don't care at all if a girl likes
Detriment.
foreplay or whatever, unless
It's not
she's
a detriment.
your
No. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you think
So
if a
let me ask
woman
you
met,
this though: why
Hold on,
why is it so much of a stretch to think if women like foreplay and a buildup as a general rule, they also like it when you just get down to business. Sometimes, let's be real, right? But in general, women like sex that's a little bit slower, builds up. Why would
You
they
think
like
so?
the
You
game
think
and the
women like
process
slow?
before-
You
That's
think
not
that?
that's not true.
Yeah.
Where did we
Yeah,
come
they
up with
do.
this science?
Wait. As a general rule, and studies and science show this, women get in more to foreplay. They like a buildup.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so
no,
you know,
listen.
so you know what foreplay would be for me.
I'm generalizing, of course. There are women that like to just get down to business. But what I'm saying is it that much of a stretch to think that women also, in general, like a more nuanced process?
okay, so Ablaze, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If a woman met Drake, Chris Brown, Trey Songz, and then the Trey Songz of them say, "Hey, come behind here." They grabbed them, bend them over, fucked them, and said, "Peace out." You think they're gonna be like, "Oh man, I'm so mad that Trey Songz didn't give me no foreplay." They don't care. They just like the fact that they got 5 minutes with Trey Songz. Meaning they like the fact they got 5 minutes
the
with
majority
the
of women, because the majority of women understand the game better than guys do. The
Okay.
majority of women know what they're getting into if they hook up with a guy like this. So they're not
Okay,
shocked that the
exactly.
guy
So
just
if they're hooking up with a guy like me, they know that I don't give a shit. You understand?
Okay,
And that they
so
should be
here-
lucky to
here,
even be in my
let me-
bedroom
let me
and
throw a
lucky
little
to
science.
suck my dick and lucky for me to even breathe on them. That's what I'm trying to say. So why would I be sitting there trying to,
Girls
hey,
are-
let me see
wait,
what you
let-
like, and if you want
Mr.
foreplay
Locario,
and do you
Mr.
want a
Locario.
marshmallow? Like, I don't give a fuck about that
Mr.
shit.
Locario, come on, man. Girls are
Okay,
lucky.
so I
if you
want to
breathe on-
jump in on this.
Yes,
Wait,
a
wait,
woman
wait,
is
Mr.
lucky
Locario,
if I
you
fucking
said-
look her direction.
You said on the
Hell
last
fucking yeah.
live stream that you would
man.
specifically
Let me
go
ask you
for a
this.
woman who
Let me
was
ask you
multiple
this.
points less attractive
Hold
just
up.
because she was on your program like that.
Mr.
So if we
Locario.
want to talk about getting 9s and 10s,
What's a 9 and 10,
if they're-
Jordan?
And a 10.
we're talking strictly physical in terms
No, that's
of
what I'm saying. What is a
appearance, I
9
think
and
most
10?
men care
Jordan,
about.
what's a
No,
9 and
we're
10?
isolating just talking physical. If you want the most attractive girls in the world, they're probably not all
Okay,
going
Jordan,
to
what's
believe
the-
that they should worship the ground you walk on off of rip. So you probably need to build your value somehow.
Oh my God, Jordan.
Mr. Locario. Mr.
Jordan,
Locario,
what is a
Mr.
9 or
Locario.
10?
What is it
Mr.
not?
Locario.
Give us an
Strictly
example.
in terms of physical
What is that?
appearance.
That's what I'm saying. Give us an example of a 9 or 10.
Let me explain
Margot
what a
Robbie.
9 or let me explain
Who?
what a 9 or a 10 is really
Margot
quick. And then
Robbie
I have
and
to
Wolf of
ask
Wall
you
Street.
something, Mr.
Okay, so
Locario.
wait, real quick, Ablaze. So Margot Robbie's a 9 or a 10 to you because if
You.
I don't like white women, how the fuck is she a 9 or 10?
We're talking specifically in this role or whatever, but I think most men would agree that she's an
I
attractive.
don't think we. I
Can
don't
we
think
not
we
agree on
can.
that?
I don't think we can generalize women when it comes to looks. Like you,
Can't do
like
that.
men
No,
like what they
you
like.
can. There is literally a science to
No,
attraction.
there's no science
nah,
to
there's
it.
not.
Yes, there
nah, there's
is.
not. There's
there
no
just
science
is.
to it, man.
It's facial
No,
symmetry.
there's no-
You can
science.
literally
There's no science.
composite a picture
So
of
wait,
100
Jordan,
my
different
God.
people, and she looks attractive.
Jordan, can any man on earth tell you that the girl you're with is not attractive to you?
No, because I only date 8s and up.
No, but what I'm saying is that right? So you saying this girl you're with is an 8. So who's gonna tell you you're wrong for saying she's an 8? Nobody, because that's who you like. I could look at your girl and say she's a 4.
Yeah, because she might have a flat ass and might be.
Okay, but on the whole, most of these men, I think we can
Can
all
I
as
ask for-
men
can I ask
So
for-
why
ask for
why do you worry about
60
what other men
I
think?
want to hear Blaze.
Or
Can I hear Blaze?
ahead,
Let me hear Blaze on what is a 9 or a 10.
I'm
looking forward to
request. I want to request 60 seconds really quick. Okay, can I bust out another 60-second one?
I'm card.
No,
Here we go.
so check this
I'm
out,
card.
okay? There is the whole lover versus provider debate, right? The idea that when women want to just hook up and have fun, they hook up with a lover. When they want to settle down and have kids, they're looking for someone who's more of a provider that has resources and so forth, right? There's some science to back this lover provider thing up, right? Now, here's an interesting piece of that. The more attractive that a woman thinks she is compared to other women doesn't mean she actually is more attractive than these other women. She needs only think she's more attractive than these other women. The more she thinks she's attractive compared to other women, the more she starts to demand the best of both worlds for both a long-term partner and short-term hookup. So if she thinks she's a 9 or 10, she wants a guy that's both the lover and the provider for hookups, and she wants that kind of guy for a long-term relationship as well. So I don't like to categorize according to 9s and 10s, but there's a little bit of science to support what I just said.
There's no science to it, Eric. Let me get Blaze. Blaze, check it out. It's basically this. You like what you like. I have no right, nor you or anybody has a right to tell another man what a 9 or 10 is. That's disingenuous. That's fucked up. You like what you like. So again, a 9 or 10 could be someone that has a thick, fat ass, you know what I mean? And for some white guys who don't have enough dick, they be like, man, her butt's too big to say. Like, that's disgusting. So it's not the 9 to 10 of you, and I can respect that. There's some guys that like fat women, some guys that like skinny women. Everybody likes what they like, but to sit there and generalize and go off of your interpretation of a 9 and 10 for these young men is really fucked up, because you're saying it's got to be what I feel a 9 or a 10 is. What is wrong? They're allowed to like what they like, but the problem that you guys are having, okay, you can walk up and have this social circle talk and you do all this stuff, but that's not even a game. That's your problem. Y'all are just talking to women. The game starts when you use this thing on the street called a mouthpiece. And if you don't have a mouthpiece, all you're going to do is ask dumb, boring ass questions to show you don't know how to fuck and you don't have experience. So I'm asking you two men, I'm asking you, what the fuck do you talk to these women about? I've never answered the question. I've been asking them for an hour now. What?
Okay, no, yeah, so let's answer that question. I talk about whatever the fuck is interesting to me.
Like what? The last woman you talked to. What? Just give me an example.
We talked about evolutionary psychology. I think that shit's fucking fascinating.
How is that supposed to get a pussy though? How's
Did you say evolutional psychology? Is that what you said?
Evolutionary psychology, yeah, bro. I have a lobster tattoo. We talked about that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. And I'm not. It's respectfully, okay? Respectfully, keep your woman away from guys like me.
Please do.
Because I'm telling you right now.
Oh, shoot your shot, man. So
I won't need to. I will indirect with her.
How to be engaging? That's literally the whole piece of having this.
I will indirect with her. I will just lean on the door. Okay,
is that what the kids are calling it now?
So again, if you guys are good storytellers, if you're engaging speakers, then women are going to be attracted to you. I think I do actually agree with you, Steve, on that. So it doesn't matter what the fuck you talk about. It matters what the fuck you find engaging.
Where are you
and if
leading
you
her
can
to?
captivate her attention with the story, then she's yours.
But Jordan, where are you leading? Okay, I hear what you're saying. You're talking about your lobster tattoo. Where are you leading? I mean, what's
You said you have a
Oh, it's
lobster
super
tattoo,
simple.
bro?
There's a I have a lobster tattoo. There is
On
a
your-
whole
on your back or
first
something?
date blueprint. If you guys want to talk about that, that's again something that I talk about in
No,
my
no,
program.
no,
But literally, there
like
is a
sea-
game
you like
plan going
seafood?
into this shit. You're leading. What was that?
Seafood.
You like seafood, bro? Is that what the
You
lot?
like
What is it?
gingerbread
No,
houses?
it's about the
He said
serotonin.
the
All right,
gingerbread
blah, blah,
houses.
blah.
No, Jordan. Actually, I've never met Jordan before. I agree with a good amount of what Jordan is saying. I don't agree 100% with everything Jordan said here, but you know, here's the
I don't
deal.
think we all agree on everything.
You know the
Do you
point.
guys not acknowledge that there's science? I mean, look,
No,
even if you
I don't think it's
know the
science, no.
you don't think that there's science behind the idea that if a woman thinks that she's more attractive compared to other women, that she's going to behave differently?
I don't
No, because
if
because
she's
a woman's
confident, you mean if she's confident?
Yeah, you could say that, but no, it's more.
I think that's human nature, though, right?
It's more nuanced than that. When a woman thinks that she's more attractive to other women, more attractive than other women on average, she behaves differently.
And how does she behave different? What's the difference in her behavior?
And if she perceives herself to be more attractive than a guy that's talking to her as well, behaviors change.
Yeah, what's the behavior?
So it's passive behavior.
She starts to have more demands of both the lover and provider quality.
Exactly right. So you just said it. If she believes she's more attractive than the guy, then that's where the shit test and all that other bullshit comes in. So what I'm saying is,
you are opening the conversation direct, expecting that you can convey all of these things within a matter of
no.
seconds.
I'm not trying to convey anything to her. What I'm saying is that if you're indirect, right? You don't know whether or not she's attracted to you until later.
I'm just trying to.
When I'm direct, I know if she's attracted to me now.
You can't tell if a girl is attracted to you.
No, I can tell because what I'm saying is
how
do you?
That's a skill set that can be taught, right?
No. So what I'm saying is, how do you tell a woman is sexually? Jordan, how do you tell if a woman is sexually attracted to you by you being indirect?
Well, you just told me that you can tell without her saying it that she's attracted to you, right?
No, I said I can tell she's attracted to me by being direct. I'm saying, how do you tell if she's attracted to you by being indirect?
So here's a practical example. If I open a conversation indirectly with a group of people and I'm telling a story, I'm asking a question, something, I'm looking out of my peripheral vision to see if the woman of interest is showing signs of interest, right?
Literally,
okay, so let's stop right there. Let's stop right there.
You don't think
what
that's
if so Blaze, what if she's showing you interest and saying that guy over there looks like a sucker, I could get him to pay my rent? How do you know she's not thinking about that?
That's the extreme example. Obviously,
no, but I'm just saying women do this all the time.
Oh, Blaze.
They don't to me. They don't do it all the time. You're taking the worst aspect.
Here's the thing, dude. So again, take this back to the initial rabbit hole that we just got down.
I thought you weren't.
You don't think that there's any sort of indicators of a woman's interest. You don't think that the way
that's some red pill shit right there.
Tone
it's not. It's his game.
You don't think you can't tell any of that shit.
No, Jordan. What I'm saying is, what indication does so? For example, if I'm direct,
you know how to read a vibe.
Hold on. This is what I'm saying. If I'm direct with a woman and I'm having a conversation where I'm at a coffee shop, I introduce myself, she introduces herself, right? I start flirting with her, telling her how sexy she look in them jeans and how I want to take them jeans off. And I say, listen, take my number so we can make this happen Friday. And she says, oh yeah, that sounds good. And we exchange numbers, and then I hit her up to do the thing Friday. Now, same scenario, but I'm indirect. And I say, hey, miss, that's a nice bracelet you have. Where'd you get that from? And she's like, oh, I got that from Macy's and blah, blah, blah. And, and I like to shop there. And I'm like, hey, cool. That sounds good. How about we exchange numbers and hang out sometimes? I don't know if this woman is sexually attracted to me because we're just talking about her freaking bracelet.
Ejaculation of an approach. If you're going to go that route of, oh, hey, I like your bracelet. Okay, cool. She got it at Macy's. That's not the point of the conversation. The conversation then flows into things you actually give a shit about. You're trying to figure out if this girl is actually attractive to you.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That first thing is,
and then you figure that out in the moment and you qualify her. And now you have an actual interaction. And then
this is tough to me because I hear
5 minutes, but it makes all the difference.
I hear you talking, Jordan. So it's tough for me. The only reason it's tough for me because I really believe a lot of women will adapt to who's in front of them.
Exactly.
This is their personality.
Yes,
they're going to adapt to who's in front of them, right? Yes. So what I'm saying to you is that if you know that they're going to do that, why would we mirror that?
Right.
Why would we do that shit?
It's not an either or thing. This is why, again, directness level is on a scale. When Hashim, you're telling a girl that you want to take her jeans off, you know, in a coffee shop, that's very high up on the direct scale. But directness could just be a little bit above 0.0, where we're implying through our tonality and our vibe that we're interested in her. Right? I could be talking about something benign, like a bracelet, for example, like you brought that up. You can compliment a girl on her bracelet, but your sub-communication could be more direct.
But okay, but what happens after that? This is your problem. Y'all okay, you compliment her on the bracelet, which I tell them guys fucking with real men, don't do that stupid shit, because she already heard that fucking a million times. So what do you do now?
You pick something that you actually like about her.
But everybody likes
right. But this is the question.
You're having an actual conversation, and if you guys can't make a woman attracted to you through your conversation, then you don't have a mouth.
So Jordan, you're not listening. Jordan, you're not listening.
About putting my dick in you, then that's not a game.
Jordan, you're not listening.
Just seeing which girls are down to fuck.
Jordan, what point in the conversation do you know that she's interested in sex? That's what I'm saying. What are you saying to see her reaction to let you know she's interested in sex?
Yeah, so you're looking at the direction of the conversation. You are looking at how she's looking at you, how she's talking to you. These things are vibes that you can pick up. And I
so give me an example. That's what I'm saying. Give me an example.
If she exchanges contact info and she meets up with you, that's a pretty good indicator.
But how do you know she's not doing that just to hang out with you and not? What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is, if I'm telling a woman,
with me, then she probably likes me, right? Because
she can just be using you for attention. What? That's what I'm saying. Okay,
so Jordan,
let me ask a different question.
I see the actual problem is you guys can't tell without fucking the girl.
Okay, so perfect. So I'm glad you said that, Jordan. Now,
okay, so how do you tell the difference? Wants to learn how to do that,
how do you tell the difference between a girl who wants to have sex with you and a girl who just wants to hang out with you and use you for attention? What's the difference? How do you tell?
The difference is you're eventually having sex with the girl, right? If I get to the point where sex
I'm talking about before sex happens. What is the indication? Indicator. You guys like indicators of interest. What's the indicator of interest?
The indicator of interest is when I start progressing the interaction, when I invite her back to my place or to a private area and things start to get physical, that's a good indicator that my intuition was right.
So, Ablaze, how do you know she's going to get physical before you? What I'm saying is you guys keep saying she's going to do it. What I'm saying
that's
is,
like saying, that's like saying, if I'm a car salesperson, like, how do I know somebody's going to buy a car before I let them test drive the car and tell them about the car and teach them about it? I don't know if the customer's a buyer or not until I take them through a little bit of a process of getting to know.
Right, but Ablaze, check this out. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Hold on. Now check this out. If you wanted to sell a car, would you talk about everything under the sun and never mention the word car?
No.
Okay,
and the sales analogy is not perfect either.
Yeah. So again,
the buyer and the seller,
the difference here is not whether or not we ever talk about sexual topics, because that happens. We're just talking about in that initial 30 seconds to minute of interaction, I'm not walking up and shooting my load and telling her, oh yeah, I want to fuck you.
No, I'm not saying you have to do that.
Now you're giving away, you're saying,
Jordan, I'm not saying that.
Here's what's going on. This girl says, oh, I know that I can have him now. Because he's already told me that he wants to fuck. Versus if you have a regular conversation and you start to escalate with your location, with your words, and physically, those are the three ways that you can escalate the conversation. If she continues to go along with that interaction, then you know as you escalate more that she actually has interest in you.
Jordan, but how do you know she has interest and she's not just using you? This is what I'm trying to say.
You literally compliance.
A woman can comply. A woman could comply consistently and still not fuck you. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys are still not saying what is the thing that you're saying to her where she's responding to you to let you know she's interested. Like, so for example, I was on a date with a girl, right? And we're flirting, right? We're just talking, we're flirting. She's flirting back with me. She grabs my dick. Right? So these are things she's doing to show that she's sexually interested. What I'm saying is when you're having a conversation with a woman, what is she doing with her words and actions to let you know?
You start to flirt.
But Mr. Locario,
how do you do that indirectly?
That can happen when you go indirect
without saying I want to.
You can go indirect, and then all of a sudden the girl is touching you and pushing herself against you. That you can trigger her to go direct on you as well.
You can't trigger that with asking questions. This is where y'all guys again are disingenuous. You guys
you're flirting. No, you're still flirting with the girl. Just because your opener is not do you want to fuck me doesn't mean you can't tell if a girl's attractive. You can't flirt.
As a man, let me show you what we do when you have a mouthpiece. Again, this is where you go wrong before we go right.
Your mouthpiece is hate, baby.
No,
You want to touch my dick?
my mouthpiece shows that I'm alluring, I'm charismatic, I'm passionate, I'm mysterious.
Okay.
I'm showing her that I have depth and range. I can make her smile. I can make her laugh. I can make her blush. I can make her think and react. And guess what?
Yes, we're on the same page.
Watch. And I don't even go after the pussy first, because when you have the game, they throw the pussy at you, and that's what y'all are messing up.
So that's indirect.
That's exactly
so
what
you
we're
use
saying,
indirect
no,
tactics.
we're on the same page there. We're 100% on the same page there. What are you talking about?
That's not indirect. He's not. You see,
I'm saying that I'm the prize. I'm the opportunity. So what are you going to do to get on this dick? What are you going to do to be worth my time, worth my attention?
That's the game. That is having game.
But
but how do you do that if you're indirect in the beginning? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, how are you allowing a woman to get on your program when she doesn't know your program?
Still a direct approach.
I'm gonna beat around the bush, and you're
telling me no. You guys. So again, we're talking about, in this particular scenario, we're talking about a compliment opener. That's a direct opener.
What is a compliment opener?
Again, we're arguing over something that we all agree on.
What is the
I don't understand.
No. I'm the compliment. I ain't no compliment opener. When I say how you doing,
I don't compliment women.
What the fuck would I compliment? Okay, why would I be like an average guy? You understand? We have a show. Okay, we've been doing this for a few years called the Pineapple Show. And
so you see a beautiful woman at the coffee shop or the bar. What do you actually say to her, Steve? Because I'm starting to think maybe you're indirect.
There's no such thing as a beautiful woman. Beauty is what beauty does. That's the street game.
There's no such thing as a beautiful woman.
No, her behaviors are beautiful. Dog, I'm not listen.
Okay.
Y'all guys are looking here. You're teaching guys here. I'm saying we're talking about reality. We're talking about game. When you love yourself, you're the prize. There's nothing wrong with a guy liking a woman. There's nothing wrong with a guy liking what he likes. That's okay. I never tell a guy, hey, if you like someone, that's cool. Here's where the problem comes in. Once you look at a woman, after you say she's beautiful, whatever the fuck you say, then this thing called emotional side of you, fear, anxiety, worry, and all that other bitch ass shit comes into play, where you then say, well, what do I have to do? What's the right combination code to open her legs? What do I have to say? What if she likes me? What if she likes me? Then you start placing judgments. You place judgments on yourself, place judgments on women. You look at the woman and say, well, she looks like the kind of woman that would date whatever. And then you judge that whatever. And that's where y'all guys go indirect, because you're saying
that doesn't cross my mind ever. So I think
that's what Ablaze was saying. He was like, well, the girl thinks she's hot, and then therefore she's going to act this way. You see what I'm saying?
The bitch ain't hot to a man. The bitch has got
okay. So again, Steve, I'm really, really genuinely interested now. So you said you don't compliment women.
No, I don't compliment women either.
When you walk up and first open your mouth to talk to this woman, what are you saying?
I just say, excuse me, how you doing? My name is Steve, and your name is? I always always introduce myself.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So just so you know, like, I agree with that approach, but that is an indirect approach.
That's not an indirect. You're
I don't even. Okay,
I think this is the issue. I think this is the issue. I think what happens is that we're getting confused what indirect and direct means.
Yeah,
all direct means is at the end of the conversation. At the end of the actual conversation, the woman knows exactly what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes, I agree. So she should know that. Yeah, 100%.
Right. So indirect is that you're being.
It's just a semantic.
No. So, but indirect is you're being vague.
But
so
let me ask you this:
doesn't really know.
Mr. Locario. So, at the end of the conversation, she knows what's up. In between that phase, are you using indirect tactics, or are you the whole time just being direct about telling her what you want?
No, the whole time I'm just having a conversation.
Okay.
What I'm saying is
just to clarify, you'll open indirect, or you'll open direct. You'll open direct.
Open the conversation
with conversation to build attraction, and then you go direct again when it's time.
No. What I'm saying is I'm having a conversation where I'm opening the conversation by, like what Steve was saying, hey, what's up? My name's Locario. What's your name? I'm introducing myself, right? Now, after I introduce myself, right, that's when I go into the flirting, and then I fucking close the deal if the woman is reciprocating the interest. That is it. So what I'm saying is, but by the time I give her my number, or she, we exchange numbers, she knows that she is taking my number under the premise of we're going to get together to hook up, or we're going to go get together to get a drink, or whatever it is. I'm not saying, hey, let's hang out and I'm thinking about fucking. She don't know I want to fuck. I'm just saying hang out. That's indirect, when you're not letting the woman know what the actual thing is. That's what I'm saying.
So again, I think we all kind of have the same mental model then for what an approach actually looks like. It's you're walking up, and whether you're opening, and you guys, again, just so you know, like hey, my name is, that isn't indirect
just
opener, but you are becoming
That is not
direct.
indirect.
And no, that is.
My parents
But
told me.
you're
No, if their
establishing this
vibe
premise.
is a certain way, then it can be
Yeah,
direct.
okay.
You
And
can
so it
say,
can be a
hey,
little
my
more
name is
direct.
blah blah blah. But
Either
if they're
way,
sub-communicating,
we're establishing a
directness,
premise that this is a man-to-woman interaction and that sex is a possibility. We're
Wait, no,
all
no, no,
doing
no.
that,
I'm a possibility.
except for the rare social circle case where we don't. But
I'm the
in
possibility.
80% of all interactions, or 100% that are not a social circle, I think our approaches all look pretty similar.
Nah, I'm very I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna straight up just tell her something off the rip. It's not even how you doing or you look good, and I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who's going to come up right to you and say, look here, I know you with whatever I'm with tonight. What's happening? Put my number in your phone. Give me a call later.
That's it. That's it.
I didn't say she was beautiful or nothing.
That's it.
So you can go direct off the open, and you can keep your foot on the direct gas pedal. You can have a sense of continuity with your directness, or like Hashim, you will, or Mr. Locario, I'm sorry, you will open direct/indirect, saying how you're doing. You're sub-communicating some directness, and then you'll have a conversation with her for a little bit, which is basically indirectly building attraction, and then you end the conversation being a little more direct.
And let me teach the chat a little bit too, because I want to teach them too, because I think a lot of men think if a woman if she is not into you or declining the opportunity you're presenting her, it's called rejection. I don't get rejected. There's no such thing as rejection.
Such thing as rejection.
I think a lot of you men need to get that out of your mind. Look, she missed her opportunity with me.
Right.
That's a reframe. That's just a reframe.
So no, it's not. It's not a reframe.
I get rejected.
No, it's not a reframe. And the reason why it's not a reframe is because I'm her best option that she will ever have.
That's a frame as well. That's not necessarily true.
That's a total truth. Because there's only one of me. The only opportunity that she will ever have of me is with me.
That's a frame. That's good too.
There's no duplicate. What I'm saying is that when you're giving women power, you're saying to them, oh, you're rejecting me. Mm-hmm. No, you missed your opportunity. You're then saying, I'm pedestalizing you. I'm pedestalizing you because I believe that I needed your validation in order for this to happen. I don't need none of that. I presented you with an opportunity. Either you take it or you don't.
Because saying it's a frame is basically saying that you are just trying to create in your own mind something. But what we're telling you, it's like me saying, okay, if I say you can only get a Big Mac at McDonald's, is that a reframe or is that the truth?
No, that's a reality.
Okay, exactly. That's what we're saying, man.
Yeah. So
I'm the Big Mac.
Yeah,
she can only get that here.
Perception is sometimes delusion. Perception is not always reality. Sometimes perception is delusion.
Not my reality. Not my reality.
So wait. So it's a reality. It's a reality that
I'm not saying a man should not be confident, and I do like that these frames will instill a sense of confidence in a man. And when he's feeling confident, he may be more apt to make the right moves, therefore gaining more reference experiences. So I'd rather a guy believe he's a Big Mac than not a Big Mac or whatever. So
Blaze, when you're the guy, and when you're the guy,
I'm the guy.
Do you believe anything else outside of that? You don't, right? So. Like, that's the truth.
No, here's what I think.
And some of you guys are psychology guys on here. Perception is what? It's fact.
Sometimes it's delusion.
Perception is fact to that individual. If I believe
this phone is going to stay in the air when I let go of it, gravity is still going to pull it down.
Yes,
right?
That's a fact of life, which is truth is. Facts are collective truths, right? But truth within itself is subjective. So if I'm at a refrigerator, right, and I need to get the cookies, the truth is I went to the refrigerator and grabbed the cookies. If my 3-year-old nephew went to get the cookies, he had to push a chair up to the refrigerator, stand on the chair and get the cookies. So when we tell the story of how we got the cookies, it's going to be two different truths. You understand what I'm saying?
Here's how frames work. I believe something to be true, and then I act in accordance with that belief. Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm trying to cast a little spell But reality is the ultimate spell. And not all women are going to accept your frame. Some women are going to say, you think you're a Big Mac. Guess what? You're not. I reject your frame.
And who is this?
And who is she to tell you who you are?
Who is this bitch?
Who are you to tell her that you're the Big Mac, though?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, motherfucker, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm the fucking guy. And if I look a woman in the face and she say, well, you know what? I believe you're not the guy. I'm supposed to be like, oh, okay, oh, you're right.
This
You're
goes
right.
back
Maybe
to
I'm
what
not.
this goes back to
Again,
what
I
I've been
think
saying,
we're all
though.
agreeing with
This
mentality here.
goes
We're
back to what I've been
completely
saying,
derailed
though,
just
and that
talking
you
about
have
semantics, whether
optimized the
this is
style
frame or
of
this is
game
genuine
that
belief.
works for you.
I don't think that matters anymore. Like, yeah, you should believe that you're that motherfucker, whether you are or you aren't. You should walk up to a
But they
woman
don't
with that
believe they're
belief.
the
You should
motherfucker
conduct your
guy.
life.
No,
you are
I
that way.
don't
And
think
if you
you
don't have that
should.
belief yet, you need
You
to
mean
measure
you don't think
yourself
you
on
should?
something.
Love
I
yourself.
don't think you
I want to
should.
hear Blaze. I want to hear
I don't
Blaze
think
this.
you should. I don't think you need to
What?
walk up to a woman and believe you're the shit. You can just
What?
believe
Why?
that you
Wow.
Why
are. You
would
can
not do
just
that?
believe that you're the
I had
best.
so much respect for Blaze right there,
No,
man.
for
He
real, for
had
real.
me to the hey,
can't
come
Which is
on, man.
more
I
real?
can't believe
Which
it.
is
I
more
can't believe it.
real? You guys are talking about realness. What's more real? Walking up, I'm the shit, I'm the shit, or how about just
You
walking
are
up
the
and
fuck
saying,
man.
this
You
is who
are
I
born
am?
the shit.
But who
You
you are
are
is the shit. This
You're
what I'm saying.
born. You're born a winner.
Wait, yeah, Blaze, you're the only one of your kind, Blaze, in that.
Fair.
It's all about loving your seed.
Fair.
About unconditional love.
Wow,
I agree
Blaze.
with that. I agree with that.
Right. So why can't you walk up to a woman?
Wow. Do your woman believe? Do your woman, your fiance? You said you're getting married.
Yeah.
Does she believe that you're the guy? Does she believe that?
She loves me through and through, man.
No, I'm just
But
asking.
she
Do you
doesn't.
think
She doesn't know. She doesn't look at me and think my man's the shit. She looks at me for who I am. She loves me for
Really?
deeper reasons than just, oh, Erik's the shit. I don't think those words pass through her mind. That's what I'm saying.
So let me ask you this: you think that she's ever thought of a man about being the shit?
Look, I'm going to explain this. This goes back to my notion that what you guys have done is optimized one system that works. Going up to a woman, stating your intention, believing you're the shit, stacking all these behaviors together, being, who you are, believing you're one of a kind and all this stuff, it works. It's an optimized system. You're going to get results. If guys train with Locario or Steve or Mr. 1950, what's your name again? You changed your name there.
Nah, I tell you, it was 50. My name is Akeem, but they call me 50.
Hakeem, I believe if a guy comes and trains with any one of you guys, they're going to improve their game. Okay. But you guys have optimized a singular path. It's a one path. This is the way the game is. The game, human dynamics are more nuanced.
But young man, Blaze, listen to me. This is what you're doing, Blaze. Okay, remember, I keep telling you, I was before the internet. I saw this seduction community. I saw Ross Jeffries take NLP and mix it and call it speed seduction. I saw the double you're dating. I saw the mystery and all these other lying motherfuckers that went and stole from black people and switched it around and called it game and warded it down to make you book smart people understand.
I seen the picture of mystery, the audacity of that man to act like he's a.
But wait a second, you got to give Mystery credit too, right? Like he's being congruent with his personality. There's only one mystery out there. There are women that are into mystery. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've lived with mystery.
You're right about that.
I've traveled with mystery. I've stayed in the same Airbnb with mystery.
Okay, so if a guy's authentic self is that he's Erik von Markovic and he's
books, come on, guys, the motherfucker, he was a
magic dude. Then are you guys telling him to not be himself?
No, I want mystery to be mystery. I just know that.
So then mystery.
I just know that mystery.
No, here's the problem. Mystery is mystery. But why you tell these young boys who are impressionable to paint your fingernails black? I
hope he didn't say that.
Yes.
I don't think any of us are telling guys to do
Mystery
that
always says try to wear one interesting item. But
God,
you should dress as whatever type you're trying to attract,
That book came from somebody.
Oh, so that's what you got standing on the locker and waiting for a broad. That's what you got, like angling your shoulders to make sure she sees you. See, I caught on. You said that you want to stand a certain way, Blaze. See, now I get it.
No.
This is where you got it from.
This is one example of many tactics. This is a non-verbal, indirect, low-risk tactic. If I'm standing in a group of people, a little tactic can be as simple as taking a little step forward, and now all of a sudden I pop out, I grab her attention. These little nuances, women
I'm gonna
pick up
stand on
on
the
these
wall
All
like
right,
this.
so
I'm
let's
gonna-
talk about getting dudes results. Like, I think we can argue about semantics and like peacocking and all that shit forever. It doesn't really
Peacock.
matter. When it comes, yeah, when it comes to
Peacocking.
actually getting dudes results, like, what do you guys all think that we should actually teach men? Because that's the point of all this.
You
Well,
should.
I'm teaching most men to find you one woman that is into you, because most of these women cannot manage multiple women. I don't teach men to talk to have to manage multiple women, because they don't have that in them. There's a select few of men that can manage multiple women and talk to multiple women. So I teach men how to love themselves.
Love themselves. That's it.
Create a program that's going to be successful for you in life.
Yes.
In life.
That's it.
And then involve her on your purpose to help you reach that goal.
Yeah, love yourself. And then at the end of the day, learn the value and worth of your name and learn the importance of who you are. And then one day, if you choose to want to push your legacy in your bloodline, you find someone worthy of your name, your sperm, and your
One
life.
woman. One woman.
That's it. And then when we're not telling, see, a lot of guys want more than one, but they can't even talk to one. And we're saying that, listen, let's take the women out the equation and let's work on yourself. We got to unlearn what we have learned. We've got to throw away all that PUA jargon and bullshit that these fucking books and all that stupid shit has taught you. Learn how to love yourself, because the game at its root is unconditional love. So we're trying to teach people who don't like themselves to start to like themselves, to learn how to love themselves, and then have an unconditional love for themselves where they realize they're the prize. And once they can do that, their reality then changes, because then they go into the unknown versus staying in the reality that they're in, big guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say that I teach guys, well, one, to love themselves, like Stephen 50 saying, but also, you know, we always say that the game is not about women. And I think guys need to understand this, because when you make it about women, then you start to do things for women instead of for yourself. So I have the, you know, my way or the highway mentality when it comes to relationships and dealing with women, and only dealing with women who are in alignment with who you are and what you're about. So for example, you know, I always use this as an extreme example, but if I like skydiving and I only want to deal with women who like skydiving, I don't want a woman who doesn't like skydiving to start skydiving because of me or change what she wants because of me. I want a woman who already likes skydiving and we're going to skydive together. But when I first talk to you and interact with you, you have to show me consistent cooperation so that we can actually make shit happen. So I don't do any I don't teach guys to do anything for women or to try to change themselves for women, or to basically, like, for example, I feel like a lot of things that guys do are things they don't want to do to try to get women. So like, for example, like even something as simple as texting a woman and asking her how her day was. Like, if you don't give a shit about how her day was, don't text her how her day was, because you don't give a shit. And so this is where a lot of guys mess up on, is that a lot of things they do are things they don't give a shit about in order to attract or to get the woman. And then what happens is that they get these women who aren't really into them because they weren't into themselves in the first place, which is why they're chasing the woman down. Also, one last thing too is the reason why I teach finding women who cooperate consistently and also cooperate from the jump is because what you want to find is a woman who have high interest in you. A lot of times when women give you resistance, it's low interest or medium interest. And this is the thing that happens. The reason why you have a lot of guys who are in sexless marriages, the reason why you have guys who are in situations where their girlfriends are not sexually attracted to them or don't respect them, is because the same guy who's in a sexless marriage now, if you asked him, he probably wanted to hook up with his wife the first or second time they met, and she said, no, let's wait. No, we got to get to know each other. And then what he did was he submitted to what she wanted. So now that carried over into his relationship. So now he's having a sexless marriage because his wife was never sexually attracted to him, and he would have known that if he was actually direct with this woman, let the woman know what he wanted, and then have her follow him. But that's basically it.
Yeah, and again, I think the basic approach there, or the problem, which is, yeah, guys get into bad relationships, we can all agree on. My approach would just be, okay, hey, you become the most attractive version of yourself, and that's attractive to people, not just sexually to women, but also, hey, as a leader of men, as a good friend, as a strong person. And then you build a system that brings women into your life, whether that's cold approach, social circle, social media, dating apps, whatever method you want to use to bring women. And then you choose from a place of abundance so you do have a woman who's high interest. So again, I think we're all pretty much on the same page, which is masculine self-improvement. Unless, Eric, do you have something different to say?
Yeah, no, I would like to say what I teach guys. So I teach guys the full spectrum of the game: inner game, outer game, systematic game, technical game, natural game, direct game, indirect game. I teach them the building blocks of the game. I certainly will tell them how I prefer to run my game, generally speaking. And then I help them customize their own system. I don't teach them one system. My system, it's a super system, and you can create dozens of systems once you understand the building blocks of my super system. And if you want to, you can throw this notion of a system completely out the window. You can just learn the concepts and sort of dial the brightness down. Let it run as background noise. Let it just mildly color your experience. But I want to give guys a full understanding of the game, the different options out there, which you guys have a very definitive style of game. I will teach them that style of game, many different styles of game, how I prefer to do it. And then we come up with a customized game plan. And I like when guys have flexibility and adaptability to their systems as well. These are not hard and fast rules.
Compromise.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this, because I don't think we've asked this. The word game. Yeah. Where do you think it originated from? I'm just asking.
So look, I don't want to disrespect the streets, okay? Because I know
I just want to know.
Game has deeper roots than the way I'm going to use it. For sake of the way I use it, which I use the term game all the time, and I get all this pushback from people. Oh, you're teaching guys to play games. No, I'm teaching guys game. To me, game in its simplest form is a man's ability to consistently attract romantic options, whether it's short-term or long-term. That's my definition of game.
No, what I'm saying is we're obviously historians on this chat. We're just we're data-based, we're scientific on here. Where did the origin of the word game come from? What do you guys think it came from?
I'm guessing it came from Pimps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So the word game comes from an area where people recognize, let's do these things in order to achieve this, right? So when you say, like, I think you just had a whole, because I think you got notes over there. I've been watching your eyes. I think you really have like a whole pen pad down there, Blaze.
I was gonna take some notes.
Yeah, come on. I know you got some. I knew you had a folder.
Like
I knew you had a folder. And let me just say, I knew you had a folder. But let me tell you, and no disrespect, brother. I
don't have a gingerbread house, though. Okay, I don't have a gingerbread house. So
no, I fucking love gingerbread houses. I'm not even gonna lie. That's something I find fucking fun. And holy shit, if you want a great date for $20 where a girl comes to your house, I'm telling you guys, wait till next Christmas. Start like right after
matching pajamas and everything.
Like 7 different women built gingerbread houses with you. It's fucking
matching pajamas. Yeah, let me just say this.
Global, yes, sir.
And the reason why is I want men to understand that I just respect the fact that we're at least trying to teach men not to be taken advantage of, right? And I hope that's what y'all are teaching, because the culture has created this super sensitive simp men that believe that pandering to women is the successful route to achieve whatever goal they have with women. And I've heard variants of what you guys are talking about, and I really believe that you're contributing to simp culture if you're showing men how to pander in any way to women. It has never been in a man's nature to submit or compromise. And I think this is where I give pushback. And I'm not saying, like, there's no disrespect to you as men. Like, you guys do your thing. Yes, this is just my philosophy on your contributing to men like Travis Hunt.
So let me ask you this.
To men like Tyrese.
Yeah, let me ask you this really quick.
Let me teach men Jordan, to do is get what they want.
Hold on. Let me ask you this, man. So let's say we rewind the clock and we're back 1,000 years ago and we're in some king's court or something like that, right? And there's 300 people in the room. There's a big banquet hall and everything. You're going to run the same style of game there. You're going to just walk up to random women and tell them like it is and tell them you want them. I actually think indirect game within the confines of civilization for the last several thousand years is more common than direct game.
Okay, so wait.
Be sort of socially vigilant of who's around us. Whose girl is that? Who's talking to who, right? We live in a social environment, a shared environment.
I don't care whose girl it is.
Right, but
look, what I'm saying is direct game is actually something that exists within this bubble of time where we live in cities with millions of people where we can churn and burn opportunities and it doesn't really matter.
But Blaze,
right?
I think the issue is that what I'm hearing is that you're talking about your actions based on society or other things versus you just wanting to do it that way. Like you understand what I'm saying? So it's one thing if you say, hey, I'm gonna go indirect because I just feel like it and I want to do that now. I'm gonna go direct. But what you're saying is you should do this because of these other factors.
Look, when I first got into this,
take a step back and go back into before we get into the indirect versus direct thing again, we should talk about the simping problem and pedestalizing women. That is the exact opposite of what we're trying to teach.
But y'all are
no. I take serious issue with that because the point here is as a man, you choose what you want and you choose what is worth to you. If what you want is abundance of women, then you have to look at how the world works and you have to adjust your behavior. Same way, if you want to make a bunch of money, well, you have to look at how the world works and you have to adjust your behavior. And it's totally fine if you want to say, hey, you know what? I want to make $50,000 or $60,000 a year, and I'm totally happy to do that because I'm not willing to compromise by working long hours or getting into a business which I don't enjoy. But to then turn around and say, okay, well, this is the only way to do things, and if you want to make millions of dollars a year, then you shouldn't adjust your behavior. That's false. You have to look at objective reality and what people, women especially, respond to, and you have to be willing to take the action.
Jordan, I gotta side.
Set your goal, and then you choose your actions based off of your goal.
Jordan, I gotta side with these guys on this one, man, because when a man walks through the world in a way that's congruent with his personality, he is behaving in a way that women want. Okay. So look, my game is not all pure calibration. It's not pure simping, pure calibration. No, you're right.
I take issue with the fact that this is simping. I'm not talking about simping at all. I don't think you should simp.
What is this? But what is this adjusting thing that? Because like if Kanye West adjusted, we'd have never known. If you want to have,
for example, if you want to have multiple partners at the same time, you have to act differently than maybe the guy who wants one partner.
No, says who?
Why have to act different?
Why?
Jordan, here's the problem. The problem is, Jordan, and you're missing the key thing. You don't want to keep bringing it up, Jordan, because I keep trying to. Since I've been talking to you, you and I both know, Jordan, that these men that you're teaching, no matter what you're teaching, they're already set up to lose because regardless of which you tell them, they don't know how to communicate. And their communication is what do you do for
teaching communication. I come from a sales and marketing background. My entire thing is persuasion.
But wait, why? Okay, why can't you be? Why do I have to try to? Okay, in the game, what I was taught when I was 9 is that if I'm trying to persuade somebody, I'm actually trying to manipulate them. Because if they don't want to be with me, who am I to try to change their mind? I've got to accept them for what they are. And if I try to impress them, kiss their ass, or try to do something, then we're
not kissing ass. That's not effective.
But what you're doing
is simping because that's not effective.
But no, you're simping because you
said adjusting. Adjusting is simping.
Right, that's simping. You're saying that these guys go up to these women.
I'm saying you have to take the action that's congruent with what you want. So if you want multiple women, adjusting your behavior, if you just want to sit on your couch and never talk to a woman, that's not congruent with having multiple women. So we're adjusting your behavior to go get the woman by going out and trying to talk to her.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You have to choose how much is this all worth to me and what actions am I willing to take.
No, but Jordan, that's two different things. So what I'm saying is that what it sounds like you're saying, this, correct me if I'm wrong. If I approach women, right? Are you saying that I have to approach women this way if I want multiple women and approach women that way if I want one woman?
No.
Like, that's what it
No,
sounds
that's
like
not
you're
what I'm
saying. You're saying
Okay.
you have to
All right,
adjust.
so I miscommunicated. That's on me. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
what
what I thought you were
is you
saying.
have to choose. Yeah. Sorry. So my bad, guys. So
Okay,
you
so
have to choose what it is that you want, and then you take the appropriate action to get that. And
Okay,
yes,
I agree with
I
that.
think forgive me, but I feel like I found kind of a fundamental flaw in your guys' argument here. You guys believe that if you teach a man to love himself and you teach him the right mindset, that automatically all of a sudden the right behaviors will flow forth from that. But that's not necessarily true. There are guys that love themselves deeply and they still do the wrong things. Just because I think
How do you do the wrong things? Like what? Give us an example.
Just because I believe I'm a great martial artist doesn't mean I can get into the octagon with Conor McGregor, right?
Yeah,
like
that's
believing that
100%
I'm
accurate.
awesome is not the same
No,
as having
no.
the
What I'm
technical
saying
skill to
is,
beat
what is
Conor McGregor.
no? What I'm saying is that if you want to talk to a woman, right? What is the wrong thing to do in going up and talking to a woman? Like, what would be the wrong thing?
The wrong thing would be saying something that gets you kicked out of the bar or restaurant, right? If you say something that's really abrasive.
Like what? Give us an example.
What would you say to her?
You could say something a little bit too overt and she could know the bartender and know the bouncer. Hey,
Okay,
that
so
dude said such and
let's
such to me,
let's say a guy goes up to the girl, he sees her, says, "Hey, I thought you're very attractive. My name's so and so. I think me and you should go back to my place and get out of here." And she's like, "Oh my God, that's so disgusting. I don't know you, blah, 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 blah." Now, if he loves himself, he's not gonna give a shit if he got kicked out the bar because everything he said to that woman, every word was what he wanted to do. So he's fine with whatever the outcome is of the situation.
Your frame is that as long as I'm acting through whatever I want to do, then it doesn't matter if we live in a shared reality. It doesn't matter what social norms are, right?
Because it's not
We
about
live in a
women.
shared reality.
Yeah, so there's a limit to that though. Like there is a certain point where you are harassing people or you are saying bad
That's
things.
not harassment.
Or, hey, maybe I just get pissed off and I go kill somebody today. Maybe that was congruent.
Oh, you know
No,
what?
that's against the law. It's not against the law to tell a woman you want to fuck her.
Okay,
It is actually. Yes, it is. Yes, it
No,
is.
it's not.
Depending on where you are.
Saying.
Yes, it is. No, listen, here's another thing.
Where is it against the law for me to go up to a woman and
most
tell her I'm
states,
interested in having sex with
it's
her?
all local law. So first of all, we're allowed to engage strangers in conversation, but they are allowed to reject our advance. They can say, I don't want to talk to you. And if you are persistently annoying, you're technically harassing.
Persistent.
Also, no, really quick. Also, if you say something of sexual nature to a random stranger, you can also technically be guilty of harassing as well. You do have to be
but Blaze, harassment means continued interaction. If I tell a woman I'm interested in sex or whatever the hell it is, and she says I'm not interested, and I walk away, where's the harassment?
I wrote about this in my book that's soon to be released. If you walk up and tell a woman that she's attractive, you're probably safe. If you walk up to a woman and tell her she's sexy, you're technically teetering on the line of harassment.
That is not.
That's not true. You can't.
It is true. You are not
That's
allowed.
not true.
Okay, what state where you get arrested for telling a woman she's sexy?
No, here's the thing. Most likely nothing is going to come of it. Most likely the woman's going to be like, get out of here, you creep. If she wanted to, she could technically report you. Once again,
what is she going to report?
There's
she's
no
going to
laws
say,
being
hey,
broken.
this guy said some lewd shit to me. This guy said some lewd shit to me. Right?
There's no laws. There's no laws. Look,
yes, there
are. The reason why is because you can really legitly, because it's freedom of speech, right?
No, it's
you
not.
It is freedom of speech. The First Amendment is protected because you have to be able to allow someone a no. So if somebody says,
you guys, look, we can fact check this after the debate.
Well, we could.
You guys are wrong.
We can say that's it, and we can walk away, and it's not a harassment. It's constant negative behavior.
The majority of states. I'm
in California. This is butter out here.
Sure. Listen, in California, you are allowed to engage a stranger in conversation. But if you say something sexual, that is technically harassment. You're not allowed to sexualize people.
Yeah, you can. You can sexualize anybody.
So Blaze, what if you say to a woman, "Hey, that's a nice dress you have," and then she interprets that as you saying something sexual? So now you're gonna get arrested?
She doesn't really have ground to stand on there.
Now she doesn't have ground to stand. But what if she interprets that as sexual?
Yeah. So this is again where it goes down to the law. So some states, especially ones that are extremely progressive, are trying to make it that all the woman has to do is believe she was harassed and she was harassed.
Okay, so why don't we
the
just
law,
not approach
That's
women
luckily
at
the
all?
law
Let's-
is a
let's
little
go
bit
to
more
more
reasonable.
bad,
Guys, don't approach
The
women
law
with
is
guns.
generally more reasonable though, okay? So just because a woman thinks
This
she was
is
harassed does not mean she was harassed, okay? But I'm telling you, technically, if you walk up to a woman and you say some shit that's too lewd, you can get in trouble in the majority of states, in the United States and in other countries as well. Go look up the law.
It's
Go
not
look up the law.
true. It's not
It's
true.
true,
You,
brother.
because
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
mean,
what I'm
whether
telling
or
you
not
is
that's true or false, I think it is silly to be afraid of the law and like the bad social ramifications of strangers.
I use the law actually to encourage guys. I use the law so that guys don't get discouraged.
There's no problem with that.
Jordan, I
think,
use the
again,
I
from
use
an
the law
optimal
to encourage
standpoint-
guys to
Hey,
approach.
quick-
so they
quick-
realize
quick-
actually you are allowed to start
quick Google
conversations.
search.
Okay, hold
Quick-
on. According to ChatGPT, in France, there's a strict law against street harassment 2018. Calling someone sexy in public could lead to fines of up to 750 euros. There's some other things about India, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Australia, England, Canada, Singapore, South Africa, Germany. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's in Dubai and all those
the law,
places.
just a quick Google search. The law, it says the law harassment. It says the law harassment, but generally harassment involves repeated and unwanted behavior. So that means if she tells me no off the jump and I stop, it's not harassment.
Correct.
Oh, this is what I'm saying.
And
because
listen, I don't use the law to scare guys from approaching. I actually use it to encourage them and say, look, you're allowed to talk to strangers. But if she says she doesn't want to talk to you, you need to abide by that. Or if your initial approach is too big of an infraction, you could technically
I
get
agree.
in trouble as
I agree.
well.
I don't want repeated behaviors to a woman that's unwanted from a man.
Right.
So
That's low vibe. That's when you know you don't love yourself. To continue why are you playing where you're unwanted? Like, it doesn't make any sense. She's not special. I'm not going to repeat any behaviors that she's not with. Like, it doesn't make any sense to do that. That's all I'm saying.
so let me ask the question.
And I live in that world. I live in that world of aggressive. Man, I'm 6'2", 206, 270. Like, I'm a big guy with deep voice, beard, shades on, and I get up close.
So would you guys consider like double texting?
I live in that world.
Harassment?
No, but if if a girl tells you to stop texting her and you text her like another 12 times, yes, you can.
But isn't that harassment because she's not responding? She's showing she's not interested, right?
Do that.
Or if you try to flirt with a girl and she's kind of giving you resistance, but she's still there and you keep flirting, isn't that harassment?
Listen, there's a word that comes up repeatedly in the law, and that's reasonable. Okay, so if the behavior crosses the line from being reasonable to being kind of unreasonable, that's where you can technically get in trouble. Texting a girl, double texting her, trying to get her on the line, that's not going to get you in trouble, most likely. But if all of a sudden you text the girl 40, 50 times a day, and then you create fake phone numbers to text her more, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that I agree with that. So just by me going up to women and saying, "Hey, I think you're sexy," that's not going to do anything.
That's not going to do
most likely you're not going to get in trouble for that. Most likely, but you probably are technically breaking the law in certain locations.
The only time I say don't do
because
it,
you have the word sex in there. Sexy is not the same as telling a woman she's beautiful. Hey, I think you're sexy.
You're still saying
You
that
can technically get in trouble. You probably won't.
Come on, it's on the back end. Look, don't say that at someone's job and don't say that at the gym. But what I'm saying is, even when you say beautiful, you're saying I want to fuck. You're just saying it in a different way.
I'm not saying it's the way it should be. I'm just telling you guys what the law is.
We always teach our guys one and done. Nobody's telling these guys to keep harassing women. We don't.
I never said you guys were. I don't remember how the conversation started, but
someone brought up in a book that was harassment.
I think we should move on from this point and leave this. This is a conversation
on this one.
This is a conversation we could leave to the lawyers of every country on earth.
I look like I break the law. I done broke the law with a lot of bitches. I'm telling you right now. Verbally they love it. You know what I mean? Don't let them tell you. Don't let them tell you that they like it slow and They like the love making. Didn't you say that earlier? They love the love making. Oh, they like to get fucked. Okay.
Hey,
And
man,
I'm
don't
telling you.
twist
I'm
my
with
words
50 on
around.
this one.
Don't twist my words around.
You said that
No,
earlier.
no.
You said, the girls, they love to just get that floor play and
This is a whole
slow and
separate
intimate.
debate. This
But
is
dude,
this
that
is
was
a
it.
whole.
You
This
was
is a whole
right, you were
separate
right
debate.
here with
Now
it.
we're
I was
talking
like, hold
fast
on, bro, hold
escalation
on.
versus solid game.
They love to be covered in gingerbread
I don't want to
cookies.
bring up the girl you with. I'm just going to be in general. We're going to speak in general. You think that women don't have different moods for the different man they're with? You
Of
think
course
that
they do. Of
so
course
when they see
do.
someone like you, they may want to just, rub my back first and then
Oh, is
rub my
that it?
feet.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying this is fact.
Come
I'm just
on,
speaking in general.
man. Game
And
recognizes game. You don't think
you
I have
know
game,
what I'm
man?
talking about.
Steve, calm down. Steve, calm down.
No, I don't think you have universal game. I think you have a certain area of life game, meaning this is your demographic that you can talk to. You can't talk to all the women. They will eat you alive.
That's all you're teaching is universal game. I'm teaching universal game plus uniqueness layered on. I call it standard value versus unique value. You guys are teaching straight universal game.
No disrespect, but I'm going to tell you right now, bro. I'm going to keep it real.
Okay.
In high school, we know there's groups of people, right?
Yeah.
You could not sit at my table.
You couldn't sit at mine, man.
No. You knew you couldn't sit at my table. And there's a reason why you would know. And even as an adult, grown man, I promise you, me and you, and this is what you do. You write books and you go places. I will fly where you're at. And we can videotape it. And I know this guy says he's a field guy. You come on to Jordan. You come to Jordan. I have a belly on me because I know you guys about the gym too. I will look, just put me in a direction. We can come and I'm gonna be me. 50 is gonna be 50. And I'm gonna fly where y'all at, and we can just find out. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be successful wherever I'm at. But in return, I want you to come where I go to. And I want to see if you can play where I play. And just tell me if that's the case. Because then what you're saying is this adaptability and this compromise. It can happen anywhere. So stop telling guys it can happen anywhere when you know it can't. It just can't. That's all I'm saying. We have to know. And I respect Jordan in his lane. And I respect you, Blaze. You're in your lane. But when you come to the lane of universe, of the entire planet, man, hold up, man. Hold up. The pie chart, I know you guys are a math guy. There's a pie chart. Just take 1%. But 99% is my pie.
Is it gingerbread pie?
God damn it.
Hey, man, respect to y'all, man, but it's getting late over here, man. I gotta get up out of here pretty
we
soon.
gotta wrap this stuff up.
Yeah.
Let me just read out the one super chat that came in a while ago that I forgot to read. Dave
There's
G,
400 people watching.
One super chat?
Hey,
I didn't get the money.
I don't know. It's a new year. They all turned into Jews. Anyway, a lot of guys, Dave G said, a lot of guys don't want leverage. They want vagina. That's it.
That's a problem.
That's a real problem.
That's a problem.
If you just view women as objects, you're gonna have a problem in life. Because they're a lot more. They're a lot more than that right there. So that's already off top, man. I don't teach that either. I don't teach that either.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Here's another super chat. Unique79, if a woman accuses you of harassment, it means A, you are not taking no for an answer, and B, she is not sexually attracted to you. It is so simple that it's complicated. Shout out to Steve, Mr. Locario, and Mr. 1950 RGNT.
Facts. No, that's real shit, though. That's real shit, man. But yo, Ice White, man, I want to say I appreciate you for having me.
Appreciate that, man.
You know what I mean? Because
thanks for putting
this is cool to have everybody come together, talk about things,
Yeah.
different shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'll fucks with it, man.
Do we
And
get
there's no
closing
and
statements?
it was no disrespect.
Right.
There was no disrespect to
good.
that. I don't consider anything. I didn't feel disrespected at all, man.
Do we get
yeah.
closing statements? Do we get closing statements?
I like the energy
that,
here.
That 60 seconds, man.
You got to give Blaze 60 seconds.
Do I get to plug my book? Do I get to plug my book?
Oh yeah, go ahead, do that.
I'll say one thing first. It's good. I'll maybe for the next few debates I'll have this time card thing because some previous debates have been like super fucking vicious. Especially Jordan was on the first one. That one was insane. That was probably the most insane. The one where Mr. Locario was battling with Marcus. Marcus and Locario just get heated a lot some of the time. It's fucking crazy. They were getting heated on the dating coach panel where it's supposed to be very cooperative, but I was like, let's take this into the other arena. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, this is Game Global. This is what we do. We explore perspectives. I would love to invite Mr. Locario, Steve Williams, and Mr. 1950, and several others onto a specific dating coach panel episode. I want to call it the African special. We did the Asian special
African
before.
Special? Nah,
Hey,
I ain't not going on
it's a
nothing. You call it
cultural
African
thing.
special. We ain't doing it.
What should
You
I
have to
call
change
it?
that name, bro.
Mr. What the fuck? Mr. 1950, were you the guy who said like 30 minutes ago POAs took the limelight away from what game actually is?
So I didn't tell them they took the life. I just want people to acknowledge the origin of the word, right? The origin of the word means something, right? And so I know and the reason why it means something is because, you got to acknowledge where it's gone. Like, there's people like my man up here said he done named 12 different types of game. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is we want to teach people, man. We got to teach people the origin of it. You know what I mean? We got to start letting people know the origin of what's going on here, because a lot of people, they'll listen to us and they be like, this man he doesn't know anything about game. I actually do. You know what I mean? So let's just talk about that sometime. That's all.
Yeah. African special. Game Global. Come on. Nope. I already did the Asian special. I have to maintain consistency. Not at all. We ain't doing somehow.
That. What is an Asian special? What's an Asian special?
There are cultural differences. So, a lot of the Asian dating coaches say
they have Asian dating coaches. I've never seen one ever.
Game Global.
There are like 4 billion Asians, so there gotta be.
Hey, Game Global, just have a door that says 8+ with a rule.
I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna try this. Blaze, I'm gonna try this, man. I'm going somewhere later with the homies, man. I'm gonna lean up against a wall, something cold.
Yo,
and I'm gonna wait around and see if that works for me, man. I'm gonna be just like this, man. Hold up.
Let me
see. I want you to read my book, man. I want you to read my book when it comes out. Will you read? I
will, and I will go ahead and I'm just letting you know if the first 2 pages is trash, I'll be using it to eat a sandwich on top of.
No, man, I love it, man. Make it a big joke. If you don't like it, tell everyone it's a joke too.
I don't hate on nobody's money. Nah, I don't hate on nobody's money. I'll keep it private. I don't do that like that. That's one thing I won't do, man.
Unless you
time and effort, I ain't gonna hate on that.
Marketing either way, like film it. Maybe you can come to an agreement. Anyway, there are some other super chats. Let me just get through these quickly. Casual Germ says this is revolutionary. 2 communities respectfully airing out their differences. Let's go. Game Global.
Yeah.
Young and disciplined. I can't see the rest of the username. Says great talk. Muscle emoji. And there are lots more. What's going on here? I don't even see it. Oh, it just says 1, number 1. I don't know. I can't see that. And this one doesn't even have anything. Okay. That's nice. Thanks, guys, for dropping that in. Closing statements. You guys want to give any closing statements?
Hey, go ahead, Blaze. It's on you, buddy.
You want me to lead it?
I don't want you to lead it, but go ahead, man. You starting first.
All right. Here's my closing statement. Okay. For the guys watching right now, I think it's important to understand the full spectrum of game, similar to training jujitsu. Okay. You should learn your escapes. You should learn your mounts, your arm bars, your chokes, all the different aspects of jujitsu. And then you find systems and styles of jujitsu that are most effective to you. Okay. I respect these guys that I've debated with. But I do believe that what you guys have done is you've optimized systems that work for you. These systems are backed by science. These systems are backed by your own experience. We don't even need to know anything about the science to look out our window and say, yeah, Mr. Locario gets girls. Steve gets girls. Akeem gets girls. You guys know what you're talking about. But I do believe respectfully that I have a little bit of a broader understanding of the different nuances of the game. And I believe that guys need to learn those nuances so they can effectively craft a unique style of game that they can run sustainably over a long period of time. And generally speaking, if I want a guy to go one way or the other, I'm going to lean him more in the direction that you guys are as well. He should be more confident. He should be more direct. He should be a little bit higher intensity with his tactics, not afraid to make an impact, not afraid to make social waves. So if a guy's going to lean one side or the other, I would rather have him lean into the game a little bit more with a little bit more of that masculine centeredness that you guys have talked about. I do believe that that's a better general rule to follow. But to get to the highest level, to the guys that want to get really good, you got to learn the full spectrum of the game, and you should be adaptable.
Blaze, when did you get your
flexible systems?
Blaze, when did you get your first piece of pussy?
What's that?
How old were you when you got your first piece of pussy?
Oh man, are we gonna go there? My first experiences were younger than most guys.
Oh, I'm 13. So how old are you?
Oh man, do I want to talk about this on a?
I don't mind. I'm just asking.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I don't really want to. I'm gonna
Don't-
say this.
don't
You guys
qualify
talked
to
about
it,
high
Blaze.
school
Don't
and how you
qualify
couldn't
to
set
it.
each other's tables. I hung out with the jocks. I hung out with the cool kids, the popular crowd, and I had my first experiences young.
Well, I'm just saying at the end of the day, we all of us appreciate y'all bringing us on here, appreciate y'all talking to us and all this other stuff. And I do want to say, because I kind of watched the chat room, and I really do appreciate your chat room and the people in there. There is one guy in there named Kasim, knowing that if he was ever face to face with us, he'd get fucked up on
ever. I've seen him in there too.
And I mean, I'm gonna tell you why the people like Kasim I like the most, because motherfuckers like him can't be us. And when you can't be a man, you act like a straight up bitch. So he can go ahead and say all the shit he want, but he won't say that face to face. Because we the same motherfuckers on this bitch that will give you an address and say, pull the fuck up.
Please.
You think everything's shucking and jiving, but we some real, excuse my language, guys, y'all, hey, can y'all two cover y'all ears, please? We some real ass niggas. We some real ass niggas on this motherfucker. Yeah, I don't think you understand that shit. So, but I was saying for you guys, and back to you guys out here, I just want to say thank you to you guys. But listen, I don't believe it's systems on systems. Unfortunately, I seriously believe that y'all stole it and y'all are trying to create this high school mythical stats and numbers and all this other stuff, duping these young boys that do not know how to communicate themselves, do not know how to be men, how to talk to women. And it's all due respect. If that's what you want to do it. I'm not here to say it's bad or good, but if anybody came over and asked me, I'll tell them the truth. You know what I mean? And again, you are allowed to do what you're allowed to do. I'm not here to judge you at all, because as a man, I can't judge you. I appreciate the conversations that we're having here, but I just say for those out there is that we're teaching love, self-love, and we're not teaching through systems and not doing levels and all that other shit. We're saying one mind, one thought, one way. And when you think for yourself, love yourself, and say, fuck these women, don't give a fuck, get the fuck out of social circles, get out of that How I Met Your Mother TV shows and Seinfeld, get out of social circles, get away from the losers. You want to be a single-minded motherfucker. If you're going to go in a social circle, have a bad reputation, because people think that if you talk to one woman, it's bad. Talk to all them bitches. Who gives a fuck? Fuck them. I'm telling you, the women give pussy up faster to motherfuckers that have real game and not this, I don't know, indirect game frames. And like I said before, let me show you one thing. I just want to make sure y'all guys understand, showing my frame, my picture of me. But behind this is actually a frame. So I don't know what the fuck they've been talking about, but there's no such thing as a frame and there's no such thing as game. And if y'all go by Styles' book, which all your jargon is coming from, you have to understand that first Andrew Tate was a fake and a fraud. And he even started, if you do your homework, he did it earlier years ago, saying that all that pick up PUA shit is fake. Y'all just got to do your homework, and y'all just got to be careful not to be manipulated by people who are not teaching you the real game. If they can't, and I ask you two young men, If you guys can't teach them something that they never met before or heard before, then there's something wrong. Y'all are just regurgitating things. As a man, Locario, myself, 50, we teach original things to do. We just don't teach them to talk to women. I'm gonna be quiet because my 6 seconds are almost up. We don't teach guys to just talk to women. We teach them how to actually cook, how to set up their crib, ways to take women out and places to go and places to go in, ways to fuck, eat pussy, and talk dirty to them. So it's more than just walking up to a woman and saying, "Hi, Sarah. Hey, everybody in the group, how you doing?" And waiting for a woman to come around. Fuck these women and fuck that social group. But I just say, I appreciate you all, man.
That was cute.
All right.
So if you guys want to learn the science behind attraction and influence, because these things are real and they're well documented, and we have been evolving on this planet for 4.6 billion years. If you guys want to know how to actually implement all that, how to become more charismatic, how to become more charming, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. But if you don't believe in science, you know who to go to.
I respect that.
So okay, I'll go next. So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Real talk. Shout out to Ice Wife for putting this on. Shout out to everybody on the panel. You know, I just want to say, man, this was really cool, you know, hearing different people's perspectives. And just, you guys, you got to understand that the game is about you. It's not about women. That's one. Two, having game means a strategy to get what you want on your terms. That is very important. On your terms. So if it's not on your terms, you got weak ass game. Understand that, because a lot of guys will get things, they want to have sex, but they'll pay for it, or they'll simp and do all this other stuff. They'll still get sex, but they got weak game because they couldn't get it on their terms. So on your terms is very, very, very important. Now, I just want to say shout out to all y'all, and make sure you guys go to badboymembership.com, and also make sure you guys go to masculineidentitymembership.com and check us out. All right, that's it.
Oh, wait, let me plug then too. I got to plug datingcoachformen.com real quick, and my soon to be released book, The Vortex of Love.
Oh my
The
God.
Vortex of
Oh
Love.
my God.
That's right. Say it.
Love.
Say it. Say
Love.
it for me. The Vortex of Love.
Here you go. My book, 687 pages, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Go to the Man Mindset. You don't believe me? Look at the receipts. We have nothing but receipts. That's why we're showing you. If you want to hear what the life is like when you're a motherfucking man and you don't run behind pussy, y'all can learn this game. We've been doing this for over 40. I was doing this before the internet, brothers. So I've been here for a long time.
Yeah, so really quick, my name is Mr. 1950. You can find me on the channel, Mr. 1950. I teach traditional game. I also teach how to implement God inside your relationship. I'm a big believer and component of that. But also teach being very aggressive and maintaining and holding yourself in that lane. But also wanted to say, appreciate you guys on the panel. I like dialogue. I like to have conversations in different perspectives. But I will say this: never allow your woman to have these male friends, okay? Because I'm the male friend that will fuck your bitch, okay? So I just want to say, look, don't let these men tell you there's a science to women, okay? If all this scientific lobster on my back, scientific stuff, okay? Women are not science projects, okay? They are actual human beings that desire dick. Okay, and they don't like to make love. Okay, they want to be fucked by certain men. They want to be made love to by certain men too, because that's their personality, love making. Yes. And guys who write books, it says I love you. So Mr1950.com, Mr1950.com, gatewaytogame.com is my membership, man. I'm teaching traditionalism. Come over here and get this game, man. Hey, they call me the silverback for a reason, man. We outside, we're aggressive. We worry about the results later. Right now, in the moment, we're gonna take care of us, man. I'll kick it with y'all another time, man. Let me know when y'all want me back.
Yeah.
Alrighty. There's one more super chat from the Body Tape Don Mandigo Special.
I think Kasim or whatever should pay you some money, man. That guy's been disrespectful the whole time in your chat. Yeah. He should be paying money. Yeah. He should be paying y'all money, man. He should super chat something. He should, because
here's another super chat. The real Dana says negative on African panel, but the panel should be called I'm Him.
I agree. I like that name.
Oh, that's what they call me. So appreciate you, Dana. I know you shouted me out there. You know what I mean? I've been him for my entire life. Hey, and I got a question. I don't know, what are jocks? Because you said you hang around them. What are those?
No, I'm just saying, back in high school, man, I hung out with everybody, but there was a period of time where I hung out with the jocks, the guys that played sports, right? The cool kids, the popular crowd. My story is not the typical guy who had no game, read a few books, and all of a sudden transformed his life. I actually have some natural game, but I'm also one of the weirdos that got into learning the nuances of it, learning the details, the science, the
so you believe in the science too?
I believe it's a combination of science and art. If we're too science-minded or too focused on the art, I think that the magic for me happens in the middle. But if a guy wants to get very scientific with it, that's a personal preference, right?
So basically, he's saying y'all be sitting at the same table, 50. So
here's the music. Here's a music analogy for you, right? If you're a musician, you're going to learn music theory. You're going to learn the chords, the different notes that sound good together, time signatures, and so forth. But then you make your own music with those rules, right? You can't just hit any note you want and call it music, right? You have to operate within the confines of aesthetically pleasing sound to call it.
I don't know anything about music, but I know how to make them make sounds. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah, hey man. I respect to y'all, man.
Respect.
I
gotta get about it. It's like it's late over here. I'm gonna get up.
Thanks, guys, for coming. I'm
appreciate y'all.
For you guys watching. Drop in the comments. Lobster Global, Gingerbread Global. What was the other one? Mouthpiece Global, Science Global, whatever global, whatever keywords came up throughout the chat.
Just y'all, man.
Something global, game global. Let's fucking go.
Catch you guys
on the other side.
Appreciate you, Ice. See you, man.
And let us know which debates you would like to see next in the comments. And perhaps this would be a nice opportunity for Markus Wolf versus Ablaze versus Mr. Locario, fucking free-for-all, or some kind of shit like that. Catch you guys on the other side.